start button.
All right. Our streaming hopefully is starting up. Ooh, it looks like it might actually work the first time this time. Let's see. Cool. This is session. What number is it, Travis?
This is
18, I
session
think.
8. This is session, we will be starting session 18.
Starting session 18 after a
Yep.
bit of a break for scheduling related issues, people traveling all over the country, and other stuff going on. We'll also be ending a little early, I believe, today. Kevin, your hard end is 1 or like 12:45 or when?
About like 12:30
12:30.
because
Cool.
yeah, I'm getting on an airplane for my conference.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. Where they're like,
Nice.
passwords should have a exclamation point, letters, numbers, lowercase and uppercase.
Ah, yes, this is cybersecurity from Travis, who is the Dungeon Master. Appreciate that. Cool. Would oop, that's officially 9:30. Thank you, phone. Um, Travis, would you mind starting off with the recap, and then we'll catch it up with Winter from Ken
I,
afterwards.
I will give the factual recollection of our last session, which I deemed release the Kraken. It began with our continued foot pursuit of names of the Baron
Baron
and
and his entourage.
and he was whisking away Loki,
Right.
and so Winter and Snowfall and Phoenix and Sparks were chasing, and then Vaclav blasts, all capitals and underline, the Baron's carriage with Spire powered Scorching Ray. A very creative and convoluted combat slash pursuit followed. The Baron becomes the Kraken King, and Vaclav squirrel suit shield boards off the spire. If you remember, he leapt off
I forgot about
off
that.
the spire and used the shield to squirrel
He's like a
suit
Legolas
down.
all the way down.
Yeah, freaking.
He said, "Hey, Phoenix, watch this."
Yeah, hey, Phoenix. Genius. Nothing could go wrong there.
Putting your life into the hands of a 12-year-old.
Yeah,
Mm.
who is being portrayed by someone with the literal short-term memory of a squirrel. So, okay, so and then Phoenix feather falls him, and then Phoenix becomes a swashbuckling octopus. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Loki plays possum. That was genius as well. Snowfall and Winter engage the enemy swim style in quotations. We were all in the water at this point. Vaclav goes all Aquaman. Rosa and Steve bring up the rear. Steven. Um, People die, dot, 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 or don't. Everyone assists Phoenix in the most heroic defeat of an evil dictator ever. Phoenix moonbeams him to death. Also, darkness, grapples, melees, inopportunely timed naps, etc. We rule, all caps, exclamation point. One muscle is the lone survivor to escape. Muscle being, the strong henchman, while we capture one ranged attacker. So everyone died except for one muscle that escaped, and then we captured one ranger. And he begs for mercy, and the last statement is torture to follow. So, and then I'll just mention this. My rose was 4.5 hours of back and forth crazy Waterworld shit. And now we're on session 18, our third session at level 6. And yeah, it's been over a month. So
We'll see how much we remember.
I don't know. We did stuff. Let's torture someone.
Quick question before you go, Ken. Does anybody remember the name of the guy that the barber that you left in charge of the cult as you left City of Starlight? I cannot remember his name.
Shit.
His name is.
I don't even know why I'm looking. That's
Yeah.
just ridiculous. I wrote it down.
I want
It's
to be
just
like Wakefield or something like that.
Solfina
Yeah.
and Wakefield.
Oh wow! I can't believe I had it in my head.
good memory.
Yeah.
Wakefield and Sophina was his wife.
A wife.
Not his mom.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
Sophina,
Mhm.
yeah.
Perfect. All right, cool. Thank you. Trying to remember that. All right, awesome. Thank you, Ken. Go ahead, if you could. read
All
that
right.
as well.
So the session 17, Baron the Kraken. Question mark. The Baron runs. Loki stabilizes. Vaklov blasts the carriage, and the horses run off. Winter scrambles up the wall with his climb speed, starts to catch up to the Baron. Phoenix runs out. Rosa is behind, but catching up with her steed. Vaklov sends a message to Phoenix and then leaps off the tower with a shield. Winter gets into the fog cloud summoned by the Baron, sneaks up on their party, attacks the guy carrying Loki, and continues to follow, bringing the guy close to death. The Baron then turns into a Kraken creature. Vaklov gets Featherfall cast by Phoenix and tries to catch up with the others. Loki gets grappled by the Kraken and dragged into the water. Humanoid enemies put on breathing devices and follow. Phoenix becomes an octopus. Lots of combat and misses. We grabbed 3 rebreathers over this time. Darkness was the Darkness Stone that was thrown by
Oh, right.
Winter. And then Moonbeam was cast by Phoenix, and it changed the Baron back into humanoid, and effectively kind of ended the fight as everyone kind of piled in there and killed him. We found an amulet with a religious inscription. I don't know what that was. A dagger, and then I put other stuff ?
Yeah.
And then we Vaklov tracked down one of the guards, the ranged guy,
Yep.
grabbed him, dragged him back into his extravagant throne room that he's created, and that's where we stopped.
That's what I recall as well. Perfect. And Tabby, your camera isn't working, but it sounds like you know that, right?
Yep.
And there's nothing to. It just isn't working today.
Yeah, it hasn't been working for a while, but it's
Oh.
the district's computer, so I don't know.
I
It's-
wonder if you have an external webcam, you might be able to plug that in, just for the future. But
Yeah.
cool. Just making sure it wasn't something. But if you wouldn't mind changing your name because it says Santiago Met.
Oh yeah.
You don't want the whole world to know. I mean, I guess they already do, but that's okay. Cool. Then, yeah, if I recall, we Vaklov was dragging back the ranged guard who was, I think, unconscious. I don't think he was like screaming out, unless he was unconscious or alive. Does anybody remember?
We didn't really do like a combat with him. I just said that I was gonna go get him basically. He was swimming away, but I was like a thing from the Black Lagoon, so
That's
I
right.
could.
Would you have? Would he be unconscious then, or are you like holding him as he struggles?
I think I would just drag him back awake.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Um,
Would he have been struggling then, or how would you have like stopped his struggle, or attempted to, or how would you have done that? I feel like if someone was dragging me into the dark castle I was never supposed to go into, I probably wouldn't go willingly.
I don't know. I have like a whole bunch of tieflings. Um,
So would you like intimidate, like stop struggling or I'm gonna murder you kind of a thing, or would you be like,
yeah, I think so. I think I probably said something like, uh,
Oh,
was
didn't
he? I think
you
he might be
freeze?
frozen. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not frozen. I'm just thinking. But yeah, something like
Start with your fingers.
I tried to connect to Vaclav. It's been a
Oh yeah,
while.
no, it
but-
did. No, take your time. I just watched him frozen too, so I was like, is this the
Yeah.
perfect roast time?
No, I give him a shake and I say, hey buddy, you're going in there one way or the other.
Yeah. Can you do intimidation with advantage? Just want to know.
Natural 20.
Hey. I think as you're saying that, maybe for a moment your face turns into the blacksmith a little bit, and everyone
Yes.
around you as he does that. And it seems like he's like trying to come up with a way to avoid it, but he kind of just like almost just like freezes up, and you can like carry him like a little baby newborn deer as you're kind of dragging him into the castle. You can definitely feel like a wet spot forming down below from his groin. It's kind of dripping onto the ground, especially as the I don't know who's dragging the other bodies in as you're kind of walking.
That would be me because I have Steve, the horse,
So
helping.
is one on Steve the horse and one on your shoulder, or how is that?
Yeah, I mean, also actually on the horse is Loki because he's still dead for the next 50 minutes.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And you can't. There's no way to wake him up aside from like disenchant or something, right? Would be my.
Yeah, like we just have to wait it out.
Yeah, I think so.
Are we pretty sure he's faking it?
Like Winter keeps saying, no.
Winter said he was faking it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Winter, you investigated, I think, right?
No, Winter saw him cast it,
Oh,
and
that's right.
Right.
yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So then, looks like here. Let me move the little pieces to just help me remember. The ranged guard is being dragged by Vaclav. Steve the Steed has. It looks like Loki's on the back of Snowfall.
Okay, then I have the other
One
two.
of the other range guards on
And-
Steve the Seed. And Rosie, I miss him walking with Steve. Phoenix is kind of joining in. And then who has the... I forgot you had the body of the Baron. Who would be taking that in?
Oh, Winter would have dragged him in.
So you're dragging,
Yeah.
not carrying?
Oh yeah.
I'm helping by kicking him along.
Got it. That's very...
Remember this? Remember this?
I'm like, stop it.
Got it.
Phoenix, stop it.
So
It's not me. Sparks. It's for Sparks.
Nope. That's just wrong, dude. No.
Phoenix, you should keep doing it.
I'm Winter is on my side, Mom. I mean, Rosa.
Perfect. So we get back to the throne room, and yeah, what's the plan here?
Why don't you just kill him already?
Torture.
I drop him and I walk over to the throne, and the bodacious babes come around to like hug my legs, and I'm like, no, I'm not in the mood.
Yeah, they definitely would come around. They're like automaton creations. I'm picturing like bad AI models of like bodacious babes that were just quickly made by Etch of what he would imagine Vaclav wants a bodacious babe to be. So it's a very like convoluted thing. So when you tell them no, they all are very confused and continue to like wrap around your legs and maybe trip you.
And they do it like they get all glitchy.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Austin Powers style.
So I shove and maneuver my way to the throne and climb onto the throne and
Can you make a acrobatics check?
oh god,
Throne of bones.
natural 1.
Nice.
Wow, my dice are swinging today. Huh?
Yeah, that's good. I think you would definitely collapse into the pile of bodacious babes as they kind of like go on top of you and they start to like just hold on to you and like grab you together onto the big bodacious babe and Vaclav pile.
like
You
real
would say it's yeah. Go ahead.
real nice Vaclav. That's great. Well done, friend.
Yeah, and I think like parts of their clothes come off, but it's like there's not actually genitals. It's just skin underneath because Etch doesn't know. So it's like they're like Barbie dolls. Right?
Barbie doll style shape.
So I like collapse under this pile of bodacious babes, and they're all like crawling all over me or whatever, and I'm trying to get to the throne, and I'm cursing, and then finally I like summon my sword and like hack him up.
Oh my god! Oh, can you make it an attack roll?
Yeah.
Let's see. I think it's a 14.
14. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny. I think
Yeah.
you managed to slice in half Bodacious Babe 2. She kind of like gets cut, falls to the ground, dies. The other Bodacious Babes pause for a moment, scream, and then run and hide in the corners of the room.
Real good,
All right.
real good, Vaclav. Great job. Great job. Between that and then I look back and like
Phoenix is like Phoenix says, I thought it was called the Throne of Bone for a completely different reason.
and I'm like, no.
Boo! Minus inspiration.
Throne of
Winter-
Bone! Throne of
Winter would
Bone!
be ignoring all that, probably standing over the ranged guard and like take his sword out, point to the fire, and go, "Fire, sword, or dragon, your choice."
I go, all right, look, I point at the guard. I recompose my clothing a little bit.
I think you also have some lipstick stains.
Yeah. Perfect. I go, all right, buddy. So explain what the hell just happened out there. Why is the Baron a fish guy? Why are you working for him if he's a fish guy?
Yeah, I'm thinking the range guard is again pretty frozen, and Winter is threatening him with fire, and he just kind of like watched you kill one of the Bodacious Babes, and I'll kind of watch the room. So I don't think the range guard seems to be just like looking around in shock and doesn't answer your question.
Let's see.
I forgot the red lines on the side are fire, right? They're like
Yeah, that's right.
like concert
Yeah.
style, just constant like
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, that's
It's
what
probably-
Winter pointed
probably
out.
like
No, I
120
forgot about it. Yeah.
Probably like 120 degrees in here.
Yeah.
Winter's gonna slap the guy.
Okay. Can you make an attack? Well, I guess you'd hit. Can you roll? Are you doing like damage, or are you trying to do non-lethal damage?
I'm not trying to kill him. No. It's a non-lethal, I guess.
So are you not trying to do damage then? Just like shock, or what's your?
Yeah, like, hey, wake up, buddy. Like, answer the damn question, kind of.
Oh, got it, got it. Then can you make a? I don't know. Answer. What check are you? Would that be like on medicine, maybe? I'm thinking,
Maybe
or intimidation.
Maybe intimidate
Okay.
again, or
Sure. Make an intimidation check.
uh,
That would be with advantage based on the situation
Oh.
too.
that didn't help. Intimidate 12.
Yeah, you kind of smack him on the side of the head. He kind of, blinks freely. Seems to get maybe a little bit unfrozen, and then like starts to look around. You notice he kind of like looks at the Bodacious Babes at the fire, as well as Vaclav on the giant throne of bone. And I think with that, he like tries to like scurry away from you, Winter.
I'm gonna push him down. Yeah,
So you make an athletics check.
13.
Yeah, you kind of push him down. He kind of splays onto the ground and rolls back almost into the fire.
So he's useless. Just let me kill him.
I go, is that true? Are you useless?
No, I'm not. I'm not. Sir, sirs, and ma'am.
Well, snap out of it, huh?
Okay. Are you just gonna kill me anyway?
I don't know. I haven't decided, but I tell you what, we'll let your soul go free if you answer our questions.
My soul? You can take souls?
Why not?
Yeah, it's really easy.
Thing that we do since we've lived here and pretend that we are sorceress, and then I use thaumaturgy and make the fire blare up. Like,
It's kind of like burns him a little bit because he's like literally right next to the fire, and kind of cooks him. Winter, you're resistant to fire, or you're resistant to cold?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
you're
both.
resistant to both, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, the fire does not burn you, but it does seem to burn the ranged guard a little bit.
So it burns him a little bit. He's freaking out, and then you guys hear from over where Phoenix is, conveniently placed with Baron Graham Bloodfell, and Phoenix has like this deep-seated inspiration from like something way in the past that he remembers, and he's got Baron's head, and he's puppeteering him, and he's
Oh no.
"Hey, buddy, you better just tell them what they want if you want any chance to survive. Otherwise, you'll feel the wrath of the child."
Rosa, what's going on with him?
Dude, he's been hanging out with Winter.
I mean, Winter's a little weird, but not like that.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I think the range guard.
What do you mean weird?
Winter, you'd hear him under his breath say, "Tieflings are all crazy."
Yeah. And
Hey,
I'm gonna
so-
toss you in that fire unless you start being useful.
So why is the Baron a fish guy?
Well, I don't know that much, but I think they were in cahoots.
Where's that?
It's in underneath his house.
Aha.
Ooh.
Do we know where the Baron's house is?
Yeah, I think Vaclav painted on it and like made overtures against like you suck eggs, I believe, wrote that on his lawn, if I recall.
No, that was on the tower, I think,
Oh,
on the
that's
spire.
But I believe you knew the direction of his house. I think
But
everyone.
yeah, I
was
knew
trying
where his
to-
house was because I made the words "come meet me" appear on his house,
That's right.
and then I left town for a few days.
Right.
So,
That is also true.
These guys are crazy. You better just answer their questions.
Phoenix.
And
I thought
like-
I thought the Baron was fighting against the fish guys, right?
I think that's what he wanted people to think. Phoenix, as you're puppeteering the Baron, there are some of the guards kind of rush in from that were on the top of the spire, and kind of like go
Nice.
into the throne room and like kind of eyes wide open, kind of just like looking at everything that's going on.
I
There's,
turn to them. Stay back, or they'll kill me. Stay back. You should leave right now.
I hate this development.
The voice is like, do you guys remember the Bat Dad? And he would dress as that. That's what's happening right now. Yeah, from the YouTubes.
Winter would say, who else was in cooties, whatever that word was you used, with the Baron?
Well, just his group, I think, knew. Not everyone. We just did what he said. He paid really well.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna kind of like go walk over to Phoenix and kind of push him away from the Baron. I'm like, Phoenix, stop.
Rosa, it's
Stop.
working.
And I'm
It's working.
Rosa, get that head away from him.
yeah, I'm trying. Thanks, Vaclav. Got it.
Vaclav's the sane, normal one here.
But I'm actually gonna like pat him down. I want to try to figure out how he turned. Like, does he have like
It's good.
magic on him? And I'm just gonna, I guess, investigate.
Yeah. Yes. Now, I thought, did we talk about there like an amulet or something? I had that in my
There's
notes.
Yeah.
the amulet with the Aquan language. But was that on him or was that like?
Oh, why don't you make an investigation? I don't remember
Okay.
what I said, so we'll just whatever we say now here.
Ooh, not bad. I believe it's a straight 14.
14? Yeah, nice. kind of like rifling through his stuff. I'm picturing Phoenix being like, "Please, I was having fun," as you kind of like just and you kind of push him away to the side. With that, kind of like rifle through the Baron's stuff. You would find like a couple different like money pouches with like gold coins and gems in some of them, but I'm guessing that's not as much of your focus right now. You would find the dagger in its sheath as well, and the that amulet's kind of like around his neck, and it was kind of like behind some of his clothes. But as you kind of like rifle through, you find it. It's almost I picture it's like one of those big, you know, you know. Like 70s amulets, like around his neck, and like kind of like gold, but like a little where there's like a little worn away as though it was like underwater for a long time, like that kind of. I can't think of the word that like would describe that.
Sure, like that.
Corroded.
Corroded. Thank you. Yes, exactly.
And
Somebody get the magic plus $1,000,000 dagger.
right.
Because I want to wake up and stab him with it.
And I'm looking for any. I'm grabbing all the stuff, but I'm looking for any markings or runes that he has on his body potentially that caused him to change, or am I getting? Because like I'm like amulet. I don't understand this language, and I kind of like thrust that over towards Winter. I'm like, you can read this, right? And I know Ken's not there, but I believe he's the one who saw it before.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking about that runes or that marking.
Or any like vestiges of like tentacles on him or something.
There wouldn't be any like vestiges of tentacles or anything, but I think there is like you're rifling through his stuff. Are you like looking through his clothes and trying to like look at as much of his like body and flesh as you can, kind of a thing?
Yeah, because I'm like, how did he change? Like, we're not high magic world, right? And he's been so anti. I'm just trying to figure it out because that's weird.
I don't think you find there. I think there would be like a marking like on his like chest over his heart of like a rune, but I'm gonna have to think about what that rune looks like a little bit.
Okay. Is it Alcuin potentially? Like
you can make a like a knowledge check.
Or I'd be like, Winter, what's this say? And I'm pointing at the guy's like chest.
I'm guessing Winter would not know that because he doesn't know any Aquan languages.
Right,
Well, no, we don't.
An intelligence check to infer, or if you have your intelligence is really low, right?
0.
0.
Okay.
You don't have a lot of information about that.
It says like wisdom or something.
It says
I don't know what that is. I've never seen that before.
Pork, exactly.
I rolled a 17 investigation. I'm like, no, but look.
I see it, but I don't know what that means.
17.
Actually, I like Vaclav's suggestion better. I think Winter, you might recognize it, like maybe not from the Aquan script, but maybe from a different script. And it does seem like it refers to like a very long and squiggly noodle from one of your favorite dishes that the dwarves make.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's a delicious noodle. That's what that is.
Does it cause Vaclav to be like, noodles? Do you want
It's all connected.
Exactly. When's the Baron making noodles? Where's his recipe? Is this why he ran me out of business all those years ago?
That's
Probably
the whole conspiracy. Is he's in cahoots with the fish people so that he can get good seaweed for his noodles.
The perfect seaweed for his noodles.
Make the perfect noodles.
I was supposed to reveal that 20 more sessions in.
Yeah.
Now I'm regretting that would have been the greatest reveal ever, right?
Yes.
Of all time.
It is the noodle. Yes.
It's not the scone of truth, it's the noodle of truth is really what it's about.
Is it really noodles? I rolled the 17 investigation.
You're making. You're not convinced that it relates to a noodle. You can you make a knowledge check?
What is that is that investigation? Because I didn't play 3.5, so
Oh, isn't there like a knowledge or
No,
no.
I'm
investigation
so sorry. So investigation is like searching.
or history.
History is kind of like that.
Okay, so
Or
re-roll.
like a language. What would? So you're trying to. Well, why don't you use insight? That makes the most sense here. I should have done that before.
Is there no amulet?
There is an amulet.
Oh, there isn't.
It's holding it.
The rune and an amulet.
Dude, another 17.
17 for insight. So you don't think it's related to noodles. It doesn't really fit that. And you have a strong sense that this was something like burned onto this, and almost as though like being tiefling and having been to one of the levels of hell, you get almost a sense that this was like something made in a bargain.
Okay.
It's like a
No.
signifier that a promise was made.
I'm like, enough with the nudes, Vaclav. It's definitely like some kind of there was an exchange that happened.
Oh, this is so awesome. It's just
Okay.
like uptight freaking evangelical Christians that are gay and actually abduct children.
Travis.
And okay, never mind. We'll edit that. We'll edit that.
Monetized, Travis.
Hello. Damn it, there goes our nickel again.
We're almost up to a nickel, so don't.
So are there who in this town aside from the Baron? Like there are different structures of power, right? So are there important priests or councilmen or rich merchants or somebody that are sort of the high status people of this town?
Yeah, I think there definitely would
All
be
the
those
humans
members.
look up to.
There was the lady with the blue dress.
Yeah, she's from out of town. I mean, she'd still be good, but
we haven't really delved into those things, but I think they
Right.
certainly would be here.
Yeah.
So we can like have some. Are you thinking a priest or a merchant, or who are you looking for?
yeah. So I'm just going to suggest to my fellow tieflings in the room. I'm going to say, hey, we need to expose him. We need to get this guy to tell his story to them. We need to get them to go down and see cahoots, and
Yeah.
and tell the people and blow this thing
Yeah.
open.
Let's hang his body from the spire.
No.
No, that's everyone will see.
No. That's
Phoenix, you used to be such a nice kid.
I'm still a nice kid. It's for the family.
No, you're a little asshole now.
Hey, big smile. Big smile. For the family.
I call who's the highest ranking member of the guard that came down to witness all of this? Because we're all talking in Infernal, so
Oh, you
sure
are. Well, you wouldn't be able to if you're talking to the ranged guard, though.
Gravity is common for that.
Oh, got it. But any of the other things you're talking in Infernal?
Probably anytime we're talking to each other, we drop into Infernal.
No, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So that'd probably be super terrifying then. So I was
Exactly.
wondering about the guards that are there, and they're probably not like, "Ooh, what are they doing?" It's like, "Oh my God, they're casting spells! Get out!" That's kind of what I'm thinking, right? So they'd be more like, I think they're in the hallway, like, but they're so curious they still have to like look, and you can hear like whispering, "What are they doing? Oh, are they doing anything?" Like that. You can probably hear in the hallway.
And is there one that's more like a higher rank?
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Well,
that
wait.
we do have the captain, the one that I think only Vaclav was up there talking to it. The one that was in charge of the top of the spire is down there.
And
as
the
well.
barber too.
The barber Wakefield did arrive as well. He's not as scared.
Didn't-
He's in the front. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Ken.
Didn't Wakefield tell everyone that he was in control of the spire too? And we hadn't seen him since then?
That could be. I don't know if you've confirmed
Yeah.
that, but that could be the case.
The guards told us that
That's right.
Wakefield told them
That's-
he was in charge.
But
Yeah.
I thought only Vaclav went up there, or did everybody know?
When we all first got there,
We
because we all
appeared up
teleported
there.
in there
Got
together.
it. Yes. Sorry, it's been so long. That's right. So yes,
Yeah.
I believe the guards all think that Wakefield's in charge of the tower because they were invited into the tower by Wakefield and they were given the fork test. Or was it the fork or the spoon?
Spoon.
Was it a
Spoon.
spoon? I thought it was a fork.
It might have been a fork. Yeah.
He was given the utensil test by
Oh, that's
Wakefield.
right.
And by doing that, you are allowed into the spire and you can use the teleportation to go up to the top. So I think you'd probably hear some whispering in there as well of like, wait, who are they? Why are they in here? How come they're in your throne room? I don't remember that throne room being there. Kind of things like that.
And I'm looking over there. I'm like, Wakefield, Captain, get over here.
You'd best do as she say for now. Wakefield would say that and move kind of up with the captain.
And I look at Wakefield. I'm like,
The captain would maybe stay a little behind. Sorry,
yeah, I'm like, I need a sit rep, Wakefield. Since we've been gone, what have you done for us?
He would clear his throat and kind of like check his posture and make it, as upright as he can and say, ma'am, we've recruited many more people into the spire and we have been holding it back and defending the town as best as we can. We've been holding the Krakens at bay and gathered a lot of people to our side.
I keep like making eyes at Vaclav, like, get a load of this guy. You hear this? You hear this? I said, do you hear that, Vaclav? He's got a lot of
What?
Vaclav's eyes are, I feel like, going towards the bodacious babes when.
Like, what? And I say, Captain, how long has the Wakefield been trying to pull this stunt? And I kind of like, what do you call that? Like wave around at his body, and I'm like, what's this mark mean? Who else have you seen this before?
Wakefield would kind of like look and no, ma'am, I have no idea what that is.
All right. So nobody knows anything. The guard's useless.
This guy might know. Hey, you, and I'll just drag him over here. What does that mean? Why does he have noodles on his chest?
I don't think it's noodles. He
What?
had that the
What do you
first time
mean?
he went through the portal, and then when he came back, he had that.
What portal?
So it could be noodles.
Is the portal in cahoots?
Yes, it's in cahoots with the rest. I don't understand. It's in the basement, like I said.
Who does number 2 work for?
Where is cahoots? I totally regret using that word. Thank you all for that.
How many more people are in this Cody's Kahoot thingy?
Well, it's not cooties
That are still alive.
There's another group back at the mansion.
All right. Well, what about? And I named the magistrate. Was he there?
The magistrate. That's one of the merchants or one of the priests in the town, or who are you?
I would be a judge, but I don't know. He might have another job too. But
have you met him, or are you inventing a new person?
I'm inventing a new person.
Okay, cool. What about let me think. Let me get a name for our magistrate.
Longfellow.
Longfellow. No, Longfellow. He doesn't go. I think he just gets his collects his bag of money from the mansion. A bag of money. You wouldn't say it like that. How would you say
His
that?
stipend.
Yeah, thank you. Because he just collects his stipend from the mansion.
Okay. What about let's say Bishop uh Bishop Founderglass. I don't know.
Thunderglass?
Sure.
I don't remember what temples would be in the city of Star Lake. Let me see. Does anyone have? Maybe they would have been to a temple growing up. Winter, would you go to temples?
Winter might have been dragged, or like
He likes like stories and
had
learning
her.
about stuff.
Yeah, probably.
What
Oh yeah, that
temple
makes
do you
sense.
think would be interesting to Winter?
Anyone that's
Dragon
dragon
one.
related, of course, but outside of that,
I think there would just be some
I mean,
generically human kind of like deity
yeah,
of law and order, agriculture, or something like that, right?
Yeah. I just
yeah.
don't know my deities very well, so I have to go find the page. Unless you have an idea.
I would just be making one up. I don't know.
It's like Paylor, and is it still in the player's handbook?
Oh yeah. I mean, I thought so, but wait, aren't deities like not in there because they're like trying to go away from deities or something?
Probably.
How about the what did I say? Bishop Thunderglass of the Temple of um
Well, that'd be like storms. Isn't there a storm deity?
there's lots of storm deities. um,
Yeah, the temple of Talos. Talos.
Talos. There you go.
And you're looking for a confederate of the Baron to.
I'm trying to identify who among the influential people in this town might not be in this conspiracy.
Who
Mhm.
might not? Okay. Yeah, I think Bishop Thunderglass. I think as you say that, even though the ranged guard is like being dragged across the room by Winter, he'd kind of like spit on the ground. Never him.
I go, hey, look at that. He doesn't like him.
Yeah.
We should show all this stuff to Thunderglass and get him to come with us to Cahoots.
Yeah. Let's drag the Baron's body behind a horse.
No, we're not doing that.
Is this
We
why
want
you're wearing
more-
all this black makeup
You know,
now?
I wish Uncle Loki were awake because he would be fully into this with me.
I was just thinking about that. I think Etch is going to kind of like pop in here after he's been recovering some of his magic, and Etch is going to kind of like appear. Well, no, he'll kind of like walk in, go next to Loki, and touch Loki. And Loki, you'll have the option to end your spell. I forgot what it's called. Feign death, right?
Yes. Yeah.
You'll in your displaced floating ethereal sense here, you'll get the option to etch with like, would you like to return back to the regular world with the rest of your party?
I definitely would.
I thought Loki could end that spell anytime he wanted.
No, we determined he can't because he's dead.
Right.
gosh.
No, I can't end it, but it would have to be ended through like a dispel
Okay.
magic or
So
something
I feel
like that.
Etch would have a dispel magic in
Yeah.
the castle with a friendly. Like,
Okay.
that would be certainly within our rules. So yeah, Loki, do you choose to end your feigned death with Etch's
Yes.
assistance?
Yes, I would definitely, choose to be
In the
to
scene.
end the spell and just wake up and
Yeah, I think everyone would hear Loki kind of do the as he kind of like sits up on the back of Snowfall. Looking around, Loki, you'd immediately see that you're in the throne room filled with fire. There's a partially cut apart bodacious babe on the ground, 3 hiding in the corner. Looks like Phoenix's arms are covered in blood, probably the Baron's, as well as guards hiding in the corner, whispering about what's going on, and the rest of the scene would unfold in front of you.
Of course, you've been
Vaclav, are
listening.
you lounging on the throne? How do you sit on the throne?
I think I definitely have my feet up on something. Yeah.
A
So I'm
bodacious
probably
babe in the
Oh my
kneeling.
God.
no, because they all ran away, and if they get
I
close to me,
know.
they grab me.
Right.
So I think I'm like sitting sideways, with my feet up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, so I would sit up and in tiefling, the first thing I do is say, Phoenix, stop desecrating bodies. And
You
what?
too? No! No!
See,
This
that's
is
what you get
this
for
is
cheating in that test.
this is you.
We don't do that to people unless they deserve it.
At least tell them that hanging him from the
Well, he
spire
deserved
and
it.
dragging him behind a horse is a good idea.
Well, okay. I can agree with you on that one.
And we're all like we're all talking in Infernal as like the guards and Wakefield are watching us. They just saw Loki come back from the dead.
Right.
Oh, right.
And I turn and walk like a zombie towards one of the guards.
I think
And
the other guards would run back a couple, but then they would stop.
Okay, I'm glad it wasn't like a barrage of crossbow bolts.
Yeah, right. Oh, oh, now he's actually dead. Yeah, that's funny.
yeah, because the thing is with feign death, like you can hear and be aware of everything that's
Right,
happening.
that's right.
You can't see and you can't move or anything.
I forgot you could still hear. We decided.
Yeah, so I'm conscious of what's happening around me. Just can't.
The whole
do it.
time you've been like mentally scolding freaking Phoenix, like, no, no,
Exactly.
Classic.
So yeah, no, I'd just be looking to add to the terror of the guards and making sure that they, cooperate.
That's right. That's how we're gonna rule, through terror.
I think we might
Hey,
be
when they-
becoming the bad guys here.
If they're gonna practically kill me, yes.
Okay, so I'm like, all right, so let me get this straight. We want to go find that Bishop Thunderglass,
Yes.
find out what's going on,
He's
Take
on our
it-
side.
take him to the Hoots place to find the portal.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then we'll shut the whole thing down and kill everything or whatever, but that way he can tell the other humans that we're not so bad.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hmm.
And then I look over at Wakefield and the captain. I'm like, where's in cahoots?
He says it's under the castle.
It's under the, Baron
Under
Graham
his
Bloodfell's
house, the Baron's manor.
I'm picturing it was like all infernal, so it's like, and all of a sudden Tabby just yells out, "Where's Cahoots?" And they're like, "Ah, and then they just
like-
go back to infernal, yelling at each other. Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Got it.
And
Like,
then someone else shouted in infernal, and they're just like, I think she's distracted. They're
Right.
staring.
Cut
and
to
they're
us
all-
like in the parking lot of a lousy strip joint named Cahoots, and
and they're all like sweating profusely because it's over 120
Yeah.
Oh,
degrees
yeah.
in here. And none of us are affected by
Oh, that's
it,
right. You'd be like, it's comfortable.
but they're
Um,
not good.
I would tell the guard, like, hey, you tell us who else was in this cahoots place with you all, and I'll let you go.
Well, there's just the other 2 teams of guards. They were the only ones.
Yeah, you gotta show me where they are. Would you come with us and show me who they are?
I thought you were gonna let me go.
Yeah, once we kill all them.
Oh,
well, you got to explain to Bishop Thunderglass everything you just told us.
sure, of course.
Yeah. Then, all right.
Why are you sweating so much?
Should we take a nap first?
Sure, I guess.
I shoo away one of the bodacious babes.
Um,
I think I don't even know what they would be doing. You shoo them away. They would just run down the hallway. Then the one that gets shooed, I guess.
okay. I am like, all right. Okay, so in the morning then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we can go now or after a dragon nap.
You want to go now? Like Loki's been dead, and like we're arguing in Infernal still, and I'm like I switch back out to calm, and I'm like, all right, nothing to see here. You guys can at ease, and I'm like waving my arms around whatever, and I'm like, all right, hey Wakefield, we got to talk business.
When you say that, Wakefield seems to collapse onto the ground.
Collapse.
He's got a
What's wrong
hydrate.
with him?
No, the humans dry out.
He's looks a little prunish.
Like a jerky?
Yeah, like a jerky.
All right. And Winter will grab him by like a leg and drag him into the hallway over here.
The captain, are you gonna kill him?
No,
Not yet.
You're like, no. Why would you think that?
Oh my God.
what's wrong with you?
What would possibly lead you
No.
to that conclusion?
We're not monsters.
Jeez.
That's-
Why would your head even go there?
Wow.
Wow, that really says a lot about you, Captain.
Yeah, I liked that response so much. I'd like anyone that doesn't have inspiration to make sure that you mark it on. Yeah. And I felt like from so many of you it was like a place of authenticity that you were like, how could they possibly think that we would do something like that?
We're like, that's so racist.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay. So yeah, I think I'm like, Vaclav, turn down the fire, or I'm like, Etch, can you apparently this is a little too much for people. Can we just turn it down a little bit?
Yes, of course. Etch would look to Vaclav.
Yeah, just put it on simmer for now.
With that, the flames, instead of reaching up to the ceiling, they kind of like are just, maybe like 6 to 8 inches up, kind of like a little cooking flames along the edges. Would you like me to keep the bodacious babes, sir?
The bodacious babes, Vaclav.
Yes,
Lydia
definitely.
is gonna be so
Such
Yeah.
a waste of magic.
Yeah, keep him obviously, but
Yeah.
just a little less aggressive about the leg grabbing.
Yes, of course. I'll do my best to make that modification.
Yeah, just try to make them realistic. You'll figure it out.
Realistic, of course, sir.
So just a side note, when when Vaclav said, "You've become just an asshole," I changed my alignment from neutral good to chaotic neutral, and I think what's happening is he was 12. I think maybe he's around his 13th birthday, and he's like got 1 or 2 hairs. So the old teenage hormone thing is kicking in, and like I thought it was so funny that you're like, you're just becoming an asshole, and he was like, yeah, I am. Like finally, like I'm a little man, total dick, teenager.
Are you now just gonna be all broody?
No, he's not broody.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
He's like totally red pilling kind of a thing.
And he's
None of you guys understand me.
Right.
Exactly.
turn into what's his face from Shadow Guy?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Kato.
Kato.
No, he's not going.
You're not gonna go through your
No, I
Kato
played that
stage?
character.
Um,
But the puppeteer
You
is
should- you should-
that will be in every character I play from
You
here
should
out.
start dating a human.
Yes.
So I am
We're in
going
love.
to talk to what's his name? Wakefield, to tell him that he needs to reach out to his
Well, Wakefield is looks like he's unconscious.
oh, he's unconscious. Hold on. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be like, stop dragging him around, Winter, and I pick him up. Because isn't he like
Yes,
gnome?
Saved his life.
He's gnome, right?
I think so, actually. I think maybe.
Yeah, I think he's
I
a
feel like
no.
he's a
Okay.
gnome. So I'm gonna take him over to like the kitchen.
Like where we ate breakfast.
Yeah.
That's like way all the way over here. Oh, look, we're already there. That's hilarious. There's a whole other set of tokens of us over
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. We can head over to the kitchen. Is everyone kind of like reconvening over there?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Bring in the bad guard.
Bringing the range guard. Are you taking the bodies?
No.
It's the valuables.
Did we search them, or would you search them and then bring the valuables?
Yes.
Yeah, because we also have like three of the rebreathers. We've got the amulet, three rebreathers, their weapons, all that stuff.
And that sweet dagger.
I give the dagger to Loki.
I might be able to. Did I take one of those spells?
Did we talk about what was in those spaces? What was on them? I don't remember.
Oh,
There was
Winter has identify. I will
Nice.
I will cast identify, I guess.
And I guess I'll do a ritual comprehend languages on the amulet.
So I'm taking some of the guards here, kind of like we did maybe a little last campaign. They're kind of like representing more of the guards, but they'd follow you back to the big dining room and probably like a little bit like of a short rest time period where there's like time to do some things. So kind of like let me know what we're up to there. So I think some people already mentioned some things. Winter, you said you're going to identify something.
So I can use it as a ritual. I'll identify both the amulet and the dagger.
And I'm going to read the runes on the amulet with comprehend languages.
Cool. In my notes I had that we were going to go over the stuff that you find on the people as well.
Yeah.
So I think if you're gonna look through those, I can let you know like additional things that you'd find on there.
Awesome. At one point, because like we've got some of like Wakefield's there, the captain's there, the guards are there, and we're doing our inventory of like the stuff that we found, and I put down my bag, like it looks like a money bag, like one of those pouches, a leather pouch, and it kind of spills open, and these little phalange finger bones kind of start to spread out and move towards each other, and I'm like, oh, sorry. And I put those back in my bag.
Yeah, I
Like,
remember.
So when you would take them out, you would notice that they would no longer move.
Oh, they're not
they would
moving
not be
anymore.
animated like they were before.
But they're still like finger bones, and they're just like
They are. It looks like it's like a fossilized finger bone with like little flecks of gold kind of like distributed throughout them. Yeah.
I go, I wonder if it's too far away or.
I don't know.
So, quick recap on the finger bones. What's going on there?
I was keeping like finger bones from the skeletons from the mine over at and,
Yeah.
and they would like come together and they kept moving in my pouch.
Yes.
Yeah, so let me tell you some of the other things that are on there. There'd also be 3 scrolls.
3
And I
scrolls.
think you can just read the names of the scrolls. I don't think those require like identify or anything. I'll put them. I'm typing them in the chat, but it's color spray, detect magic, and air bubble are the 3 scrolls. There's also 3 potions you'd find. There's 2 healing potions and one unknown potion, at least unknown to you guys. One unknown potion. You have that dagger that you have talked about, the magical dagger. There would also be a longbow and longsword that appear as though they might be magical. As well as a set of studded leather from one of the guards that also appears magical.
Oh.
And there, because I'm assuming you're going to take your time and like use detect magic and not like hide anything. There's also you killed one of the mussels and one of the mussels got away, right?
Yep.
Yeah. There looks like there's a magical set of bracers on the guard.
Cool.
As well as we'll say about like 350 gold pieces worth of stuff. Though we're not really tracking gold as much this time. It seems like it doesn't matter, but it might become relevant. And let's see, Winter, you said you're going to be doing some ritual casting Identify. That'll probably take a bit, especially with a bunch of like magical things. Vaclav, you're going to ritually cast Comprehend Languages. Phoenix, Rosa, Loki, are you guys up to anything while you're during the mini little downtime here?
I ask Winter, is this studded leather any better than the magical studded leather I've already got?
I don't know. Do they
I'm
look
looking
the
for
same to
upgrades.
Winter?
Loki, what sort of leather do you have?
It's
Just one.
a magical +1.
It looks like it might be different.
Oh yeah, it's different.
He's like, is it better? And Winter's like, yeah, it's different. Yeah, you should wear it.
I was just in stunned silence trying to figure out what to say next. Thanks, Winter. How different is it?
Yeah, I was just kind of asking what to start with, and then I'll kind of go down the list of
Sure.
So, knowing Winter, I think the armor is probably lower on his list of.
Oh, for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
So he's like, yeah, it's different. Like it's a different color. Obviously, why would you even ask me? Like that's kind of what I heard.
Typical Winter.
This has square studs instead of round studs.
Yeah.
Duh.
It's a totally different style. This one has like yeah. So Loki, Rosa, Phoenix, anything while you're waiting, or just kind of
I'm talking with like once we get Wakefield back to like breathing and
give him some
he's
water and a little bit of cool air. Kind of comes back.
I did tell him I wanted to talk a little business and let him know that he needs to reach out to Zurich and the Jade Manor.
That's right.
Because we're gonna like it was always my intention, like gotta help with the business and we're helping. I was like, letting him know that we're gonna keep pushing the trade route.
As Loki is asking about the armor, like Phoenix already has like one arm through one sleeve, one leg in, one bracer is on, and he's like, it doesn't matter. You're fine. You're fine.
Like,
it's just putting everything on. There's 2 scrolls opened up at his feet already. Like, I'm helping identify.
Doesn't he already have like bunch of stuff that he's already attuned to?
No, he has an amulet of protection.
He had something. He had a couple of.
Does he? I don't know. We'll see. Let's find out. Inventory.
And then I want to like kind of give him
the earrings.
Yeah. I give him the lowdown of like
Oh, those aren't attuned.
the earrings are not attuned.
I feel like they have to
They
be.
are.
That would definitely count.
That was a custom. That's the only thing though.
The earrings and you already have your anyway.
The amulet's not attuned. It's just
Um,
an item.
I want to let him know like I've got a stronghold at the other spire over there. Like I think that we need to start talking about our our holdings on both North Fork and here.
He said, that makes sense. I can do my best to consolidate those, man.
And I start going over contact lists and I'm like, hey, you work with Malbec, right? Because he was the guard that was already like he was the guard that we bought to get through. And he was gonna remember when the dragon there was like I had to pretend like, oh, I got my period
And that was
like,
up in North Fork, right?
I don't think
That's
we bought him though. I think the dwarves bought him.
the dwarfs bought him, but I'm like I point out where he's one that we can maybe bring under our wing for the trade route, I keep calling it, for our trade route,
Yeah, definitely. What was the name of that guard again?
Malbec.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we'll catch up everybody else on the conversations as we're going. More any other like game related things you'd be doing? Otherwise, we'll kind of get the answers to those pieces.
Sure. What's up with those bracers?
Oh yeah, we can go to the
Okay.
end. So no one else doing like another
These
as we're playing. Winter, what item are you identifying first?
Oh, you know what? I forgot, Dan.
Yeah.
There's one other thing I wanted to do. I'm gonna also confer with Etch and get back online with Echo and make sure that everything's okay at my spire, because Vaclav was making some unilateral decisions for a little bit, and I need to make
sure
that the healing.
I didn't end up drawing power from your spire though.
I don't remember.
I did not. There was talk of it. I was going to be.
Oh, you jumped instead. Is that what happened?
Wait.
You did, because I couldn't use it when I was trying to save freaking.
Yeah, because I thought you did.
Yeah, you're right. I did draw power to teleport without a
Yep.
teleport ring. You're right.
So I'm like, I'm making sure that like everything is closed down and that the whole like the bastion is secured, and giving directives to Lydia over in the Jade Manor.
Got it. How would you be getting messages to Lydia?
So when we left the other place, I was already talking to, what was his name? The guy, not the Baron. God, I was so far.
What did he do, or when? Give me a little.
He was was it Halbrecht? Halbrecht? Was it Morden's cleric? Who's the one
Right.
there?
I think my question is like, how does the message get from Etch to the city? Because remember, there's a pretty far distance there. I'm sorry, from Restore to the city.
From Restore? Oh, that's right, because it's so far.
Right.
It's not here.
And I don't know if anyone was left there. I don't think you killed. Oh, there was a couple people that you left.
Yeah, there's Boggin and Rizvet and Halbrecht.
Got it. Would you be having one of them run a message?
Yes, I want to make I want to check in and see if, because Halbrecht was looking to go back to the Temple of Mordens. Boggin was the one who lost his mind. So I think he's still recovering. It's been since yesterday, basically.
Right.
And Rizvet and Halbrecht are the ones that are like, okay.
So,
So-
you're asking Resor to send Halbrecht with a message to Lydia.
Yes.
North Fork. Got it. Perfect. Cool. All right, Winter, what are you identifying first?
I feel like Loki would probably be talking nonstop about that dagger, so probably the dagger.
For sure.
Yeah. The dagger appears to be a oh crap. I need a name of a like deity, which I'm gonna pull up from here.
Dagon.
Dagon. Yeah, it is.
Dagon is like watery, typically.
Oh no, I want a like a death god.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know where my 5e book is, but I'm gonna find
Neural or whatever. Neural
Nerul is the god of death, right?
death, I think.
There's also the Raven Queen.
Yeah.
And then there's also Kelemore. I can't spell that. Kelemvor. God of Death.
We're gonna go with Nerul because that's the one that I mostly remember. I might have to change that later, but we'll see. It is a dagger, and it kind of has like a long serrated blade, and it is a +2 dagger, and it has the ability of sacrifice, which you can do an additional 3d6 damage to an incapacitated foe. If that foe is then killed, you gain +2 to a stat for 24 hours.
Oh.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Winter, as you are holding it and identifying it, you do get a sense that it there's almost a pressure to use it as you are holding it. You don't attune to it or anything, I'm guessing, just because you're kind of doing it.
Yeah.
But it almost seems like it's like you're like it'd be a lot easier to use this than like a regular weapon. You think, especially to like kill. Like killing would be just so easy with this.
I'll say, yeah, this thing's really good to kill with, guys.
Yeah, I'm assuming you to share the stats, and whether it's Winter's way or not, but I think all the players certainly would know the stats of what you.
Yeah.
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 I don't know if you get the name necessarily. I think there probably is a little religious symbol in the pommel as well, but I don't think that would come with identify. In my mind, identify gives you like the stats.
Yeah.
The
Sounds
way
good.
that okay, so when you play Identify, is it like a stat block comes up in the character's head? But what if it's like something that is like a to me that dagger is cursed? Is there like a voice that comes with it if it's cursed? Like, yes, you want me. You want to hurt people. Or does it just depend on like the situation?
In my mind, the cursed item is one that you can't like unequip after you've equipped one, because that's like and that's like what Baldur's Gate a long time ago would like do from what I played. Whether an item's like cursed or not, I don't. That's a good question. I don't think that it's like a stat block necessarily. I picture like when Winter casts Identify, he's like, oh, it adds extra damage to incapacitated foe, and you get stronger if you like hold it. So I think the stat blocks are only like for the players. I don't think the characters have a sense that know what their strength scores are or anything like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how I imagine it. But I've also been thinking too about like identify that I think there are something that might not be identifiable that or have like hidden things that can only be discovered throughout. So I don't think you'd get like everything perfectly from identify. I think that there can be things sconed behind for a narrative purposes, not to
Okay.
like get you. I would that would be
Yeah.
shitty, but like tell a better story. I think I would, if that makes sense. So when I say like there is this voice, there's definitely more, and maybe I'm evoking that sense of maybe it's cursed, maybe it's not, maybe there's something else, maybe it's related to this deity. But I think like you'd have to play through that to like learn more.
Sure.
But it certainly does those things of like the stats that I said.
Nice.
Cool.
Cool. Winter, what's next?
The amulet.
Yeah, so the amulet. Seems like, and then as you kind of finish that, Vaclav, you would have your comprehend language. Would you take a
Yeah.
look at the writing that's on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a short little poem on there.
Ooh.
And
Is this on the dagger or the amulet?
sorry, this is on the
Amulet.
Okay.
and I'll type
Okay.
it out as well. But
There
we
once was a
know-
lass from Atlantis. Oh.
Do we know what when Vaclav is comprehending language, or when anyone's comprehending language, do they know what language that is, or does it just present itself as I understand these
I
words?
think it's like presents itself as you know it. You would might get a little bit of a sense of it. I think we've already like figured out that it's likely Aquan in this
Got it.
particular case, because I think you could probably like look at the script, unless it's like
Mhm.
some script that you wouldn't know or something like
Mhm.
that. But the inscription reads, "Earth dissolves, fire extinguished, air becomes clouds, then rain, water always triumphs."
Well, shit, that's not going to fit where I want to write it. Is that it? Is that in the chat?
I'm gonna put it in.
Okay.
I translated to everybody. I go, what? Doesn't even rhyme.
I'm gonna say that it does rhyme in Aquan, but
I don't have any sense of it.
no, I know that's funny though.
Classic. It's great. It's a
It's just
terrible
because
poem.
you can't swim very fast.
Mm.
But now you can breathe underwater, and I hold up one of the rebreathers.
There is
Yeah,
also
Winter
a,
kept one of those.
casting of like a figurehead that is likely religious in nature. That you could make like a isn't there like a knowledge religion?
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Religion.
To see if you knew.
I am pretty terrible at that. But 8.
8. It's a little bit more unknown, so you're pretty sure that it is a religious deity's face, but it's not
Yeah.
any that you would recognize.
I look over and I'm looking at the same thing. I rolled a 15 religion.
Yeah, 15. You would recognize it as the deity of Istitia.
That's Istitia, dude.
I go, oh, is it contagious? And I drop it.
Nice.
Rosa, you would know this as the Water Lord, who is known for just being immutable, flowing, and capricious in their decisions. Like flowing between yeses and nos, male, female, and like destroys once and then gives the next day with almost no reason.
Ultimate fluidity.
Yes.
Do you say that?
Rosa
Yes.
might say it in her own way, I wonder, but.
Yep.
So I go, oh, is that Lydia's cousin or...
And I like Oh, and I like do the like you know how siblings I like kind of shove him.
Yeah. I'm just picturing you guys are like eating and you like throw a roll at him or something too.
Yep, exactly.
All right, so I'm going to kind of push us to move along here.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
With the amulet, the abilities that you learn, um, when you are partially submerged, you gain the ability to turn into a Kraken Lord once per day. Once you're in a Kraken Lord, that can last up to an hour. You get 40 additional hit points. I'll put this in the chat as well. You can summon Kraken to assist you. You can summon a tidal wave as well. And you have advantage on grapple and a tentacle attack.
As
Cool.
this comes out, Phoenix will say, I think it's obvious that I should probably hang on to the amulet. Agreed?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll
Agreed?
toss it over to Phoenix.
And then I go to grab it. I go.
Yeah, Rosa, you can make a acrobatics check to try to grab it out of
going
the air as Winter is tossing it to Phoenix.
Oh, a 2.
Why would anyone want to be a Kraken when you could be a dragon? I don't understand.
That makes sense.
Listen, let's just run through this. Obviously, I am an amazing octopus, so therefore I will be an even more amazinger Kraken.
Phoenix.
Sorry, you also have, whenever you are partially submerged, and that is 25% of your body is underwater at least, you have +2 strength and +2 dexterity when you're in that condition.
What is an amulet? Is that like you wear it on a necklace?
Yeah,
like-
it's like a big old 70s amulet on like a gold
Flavor
chain.
Flav.
Gold chain flavor. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Flavor
like-
Flav
I like-
and its cloths.
So she misses, and no one else is trying to take this thing out of my
No one else
hand.
is stopping it?
So I'm like,
No, and I scramble. I'm like, no.
Oh, I would
like,
definitely
literally-
be shouting at you, you know, not to put the thing on. Did you not see where it came from?
what? It's a
Nope.
perfect fit.
I grab at it. I'm like, stop it, Phoenix, stop playing.
She gets it from my home.
Got it.
Oh.
That is exactly what just happened.
Oh,
Well, there's also 2 healing potions. I think I mentioned there is another potion that is a truth serum that Winter is able to identify. It's not a very high level potion, but I'm going to say it makes you,
Whoa.
you know, the imbiber tell the truth for 10 minutes. Similar
was
to
awesome.
that spell, Circle of Honesty or whatever. Circle of
Zone of Truth.
Zone of Truth, thank you. Circle of Honesty. I like that.
That's good.
You got the Sacrificial Dagger.
Is it-
There is a +1 longsword and +1 longbow. Those don't have any special abilities, but they are slightly magical. Winter, you take a look at the gauntlets, and they are a set of gauntlets of ogre power. And when they are worn, they set the user's strength to 19.
wazoo.
Phoenix also has one of those on. Like everything, he's got one of everything on.
I've
Stop.
seen gauntlets of ogre power in like since middle school.
Yeah, I know, right? I was looking through the list, and I was like, "Oh, that'll be hilarious."
That is funny. That's
And the studded leather?
It is +1 studded leather, but it does give you expertise in stealth when you're wearing it.
Ooh.
nice.
So it would be like studded leather of stealth or something.
I will share that with Loki. I'll say it's does the same stuff except it makes you almost as good as me at sneaking around.
Nice. Does anybody else use studded leather?
I
If
do.
not, yeah.
But
Do
you-
you want
you-
the stealthy one?
No, you can take it.
All right. We can trade armor, and you can have the +1, the
I've already-
standard +1 that I
I've
have.
already got +1.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I would wear it if no one else wants it, but that's it. It would improve my
The plus
AC.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
And
that
you
cool?
should take
Yeah,
that.
and I'm decent at stealth, so.
So you're already like, I'll take it, and he's like stripping everything off again.
I start putting it back on.
I'll ask Rosa. Rosa, do you want these gauntlets?
Yep.
What was the unknown potion?
Truth serum.
Truth serum.
Wait, Rosa, is your strength not already 19 or close to it?
I did 16.
Oh. Well.
Close.
Give the strong woman even more strength then.
I'll
Who's
toss
wearing the
those
bracers?
to Rosa.
That's me.
You're wearing the bracers.
I'll probably take the longbow unless someone stops me.
Nope.
No.
I
If
think I
could
lost
use
mine
it,
in the
but I
water
don't.
too.
That's right.
Lost your
I thought the
gauntlet.
bracers were the gauntlets. Are they separate?
Sorry, they
Yeah,
are
this
the
is
same.
separate.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I didn't mean that they were
Oh,
just gauntlets. And
different.
I think those are the same in my head. Yeah.
They're the
Yeah.
same.
Well, bracers are the armor things that you wear
Yeah.
on your wrist. Ching ching.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman.
Gauntlets are
Like Wonder
big old
Woman, yeah.
gloves.
That's when you're shooting a bow, so it doesn't like get that like spot all
Uh-huh.
hard on your arm. Yeah. No, I meant
All right.
they were the gauntlets of ogre power is what I was attempting to allude
Okay.
to, but I used the wrong word. So there is not an additional
No bracer.
set of bracers this time.
All right, you guys ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right. So do we want a long rest or is a short rest enough?
I think a long rest is in order.
Okay.
I've already slept a little, but I think the magic users could probably fully regenerate.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll lock the captured guard in a room and sleep.
Perfect.
Cool.
Are you making a new room? Can you tell me a little bit about how you're keeping the captured guard? Sorry, captured guard.
Sure. So
Gag him.
No, didn't we have all of our different rooms in here? I have remember all of our fancy rooms?
Yeah, you do have all the. There are definitely unclaimed rooms.
So we
We
have
just lock him in the room with the floating orbs that'll kill him.
oh God. Does Snowfall need to sleep?
It doesn't specify,
Okay.
but
I'm gonna say yes.
yeah, makes sense.
I think we just
The
put a couple
magical
of crossbowmen
steed
in a room with him. You know, a couple of our guards in the room with him, and he's
Yeah.
unarmed.
Although he could try and persuade them. I think that what if we gagged him and bound him hogtied?
what? Like, where's he gonna go? Let's just lock
He's
him in a
saying
room.
he's going to talk his way out.
Let's just lock him in a room.
Can't you make
You
this
realize
place
that,
do
that
whatever you
this
want?
individual right here with the headset on is running this game. But okay, just put him in there with the other guards.
No,
That's why someone
Same
more
with the other guards. We've got
creative
a
should be
ton
in
of other
charge,
guards.
like a dragon.
I do some wuju in front of him, and I go, I got your soul. All right. Now, I'm going to give it back after you talk to the bishop.
Nice.
But you got to toe the line till then.
Can you make a persuasion with?
Probably not.
I was gonna say, I'll be helping you
Oh
with
no,
this.
that'd be deception actually. So, same. Keep your rolls,
Oh.
but like might be a different
True.
modifier.
Okay. 15.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you.
Seems to believe you.
Okay.
Blackcloth, you have to show me how to do that later.
Yeah, I believe Winter also is convinced.
Yeah,
I go, yeah, it's a tiefling thing. It's really easy. And
sweet.
let's go to bed.
I think as you say that, the rest of the guards, their eyes get really big.
And then I look at them and my eyes burn red real
Right.
quick. And I'm like, diablerie.
That's right.
Yes.
That's how we're running. We're running
That's
our
what we do. I
spire.
think one of them was like drinking, and he like drops his cup of coffee, and it like shatters on the ground,
Coffee.
and everyone just freezes.
Awesome.
Okay,
All
so
right.
you're holding the ranged guard in one of these rooms. I'm assuming you'll get rid of the door or have Etch do something for it. Cool. And then everyone's kind of retiring to their rooms for a long rest.
When they go into Vaclav's room, like all of Wakefield's stuff is in Vaclav's giant room.
I was
Oh, is
thinking
it?
about like what Wakefield would have done too. I think he
Did
would
he-
have just claimed one of the regular rooms, probably up at the front, and he probably would have told no one else to go in anywhere else. So that's kind of what I was thinking.
Smart move, Wakefield.
I'll tell him, you can use my old room. Winter and I are bunking up now.
Oh, jeez.
Remember when I dragged the bed over there and all that shit?
But that was at my
So that was
spire.
at the other
Oh, it
place.
was?
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
here?
No,
No.
this is when you're
You have
your
own one.
spellcasting range or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, never
Yeah.
mind. I'm totally into I forgot where we were, so good. I like mine. Fuck off. Get out of here. I'm an asshole now. I'm almost 13.
Oh,
I
no,
gotta take
this
a
one
shower.
you did make like a small dragon horde bed. Oh no, you made that for snowfall for winter. That isn't for
Yeah, I'm the one of the water
Yeah.
pit.
I remember you had the fireplaces. That's what I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah. Big painting. Oh, the big painting above the bed with a hot tub and 2 fireplaces. Yeah, that's very classy, very high class there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how fancy people live, right?
Yeah,
Right.
It's like how poor people imagine fancy people live.
Yeah.
That's exactly. It's like perfect.
It's how Trump decorates.
Oh,
Exactly. Yeah.
you got a golden toilet.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I do feel like a golden toilet would also fit into Vaclav's room pretty well. Okay. Long rest. Resting up here, just like running through anything else going on. Tell me about who is holding the who has possession of the dagger, or where is it kept?
We gave
Loki,
it to the dagger
I
went
think
to
I would probably have it.
Loki. Yeah, Loki has the
Okay.
dagger.
I wasn't sure if that was the case. And where is the amulet? I think Rosa took it from Phoenix.
I took
or
it.
something.
Rosa
It's
thinks
me.
that it's in her
I
bag.
have it. I have the amulet.
And are you wearing it?
No. No. No.
It's in your bag.
Yep.
I would have worn it.
Yep.
I definitely would have
Exactly.
worn it too. Yeah. Okay.
Oatmeal, so good.
Loki, where are you keeping the dagger?
Given what we know about it, I would probably just keep it in my backpack. I don't think I would have it as an item that could be like readily accessed, and I don't think it would be something that we would plan to use on it. It's not like I would have it in a sheath on a belt ready to go in an instant or anything.
Or like holding it between your teeth?
Right. And put it between my teeth and I'm diving into the water.
Right. Perfect. Yes?
Dan, I'm gonna retcon because I was getting the dagger and the amulet mixed up. Yeah, I put the amulet on for sure.
So you are attuning to the amulet. Okay. Perfect. Then, Loki, can you roll
So freaking jealous right now.
perception check and a wisdom saving throw for me?
Oh, okay.
Oh no, not cursed at all. Oh.
Well, the perception went really well. That's a 24. And
yeah.
Did you say a wisdom save?
Yeah.
That one's not as great. That's a 14.
Does identify tell you if an item's cursed or not? Is that why it was asked? I don't think it does.
I don't know.
Some curses might
Oh,
require more
that's a
powerful
good
magic, I
question.
would think.
That makes
The
sense.
top question is, does identify reveal curses?
Oh,
So
really?
yeah.
Probably not the first
Identify
time.
does not reveal a
Oh,
curse.
oh, that's great to know. Thank you, Ken. Perfect. Loki, during your sleeping, you're sleeping very restfully, but you do seem to like wake up for a moment, and you almost hear like a little voice coming from your backpack. And it's kind of like this deep voice. It's hard to hear, and it's in what sounds to be like a language that you don't understand, and it seems to disappear after just a moment, like as you kind of like come awake completely again. That's all. Anything you would do or say?
Uh, Not in the middle of the night. I think afterwards I'd be like, Vaclav, tell me about this thing you see. Or do we know that you see the blacksmith?
Ooh, I don't know.
Uh, I think I've told you about it, but I haven't told you much about it because like I started manifesting magical powers back when I was still trying to like open a laundromat, and so I think I would have told you that I made a deal that um, I found an investor who's
Sure.
I was also thinking
gonna
if Loki heard that, he might just be like, "Oh, you're always making deals. You always have something." So I'm not even sure if he would take it as serious. You know what I mean?
right. Well, by now it's clear that
That's a fair point. You
I'm doing
clearly
something
have
with somebody.
Yeah.
So I would probably talk to Vaclav about like I was hearing voices in the night coming from the backpack, and the only new thing in there's this
Yeah.
this
Do you
crazy
go over
dagger.
and wake him up and ask him?
No, I don't think was what I heard and everything disturbing enough that I would want to do that? I mean, I feel like it would be just something I'd do the next day.
Let me see. Where I'm not sure you would have understood it, to be honest. Does anybody happen to
Right.
know where the languages is in the new player's handbook? It's like at the beginning, right?
I think it's like
Oh,
page
you got it.
13 or something. That's pretty early.
Yeah, 37.
37.
Yeah, I'm going to say that you do know. It was actually speaking in Infernal, but some of the words were like very old usage that you probably wouldn't have heard. Because I feel like the Infernal is more of like a newer Creole because you don't speak to a lot of other like Infernal styles, and it was difficult to parse exactly, and you were partially awake, but it was kind of like a desiring to be fed and that you should feed it.
Am I feeling like a draw to do it, or I'm just hearing it?
As you heard it, you were just like, maybe I should. No, that would be silly. And it was just like it's just like entertaining a thought of the call of the void, and you were like, that's ridiculous. You didn't feel like you were compulsed or anything like that.
Okay.
I have a wondering, Dan.
Yeah.
This dagger has tasted Loki's blood already. Does it change
Ooh, that's a
a little
really
bit?
good point. Um, hmm.
But he survived.
Right.
Yeah, no, well, I think that
Yeah.
might be important later, but yeah. So
Okay.
you'd shrug it off and not go ask Vaclav about it during the night or anything.
Okay.
He's like,
I'm just
watch
confirming,
out,
is that what you're?
or I'll kill myself.
Well, yeah, I would just try to figure out is it
Stand back.
It's more like you are so sweet.
Delicious
And Loki's
pig
like,
succulent
thank you. But it's like
lamb. Yeah, exactly.
your unctuous body.
Yeah, I mean, my general thought from from what this thing does is that it's a tool I'd want to have around, but not like knowing that it's more than just like a a magical item.
You should definitely
And
come and talk to
it's
me about
definitely
it.
something I don't trust because I've already been, taken out in one stab by it.
Yeah. Oh, but
So
Ian, are you saying that? Were you saying that it might be a good idea to go talk to you about it, or?
I guess I'm asking for a scene in which he talks to
That's
me
what I
about
was
it.
kind
Right.
of thinking.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Loki, it might be you might want to go. I don't know if you'd go to like ask Vaclav, but
Yeah, I mean if it's like that kind of a pull and waking me up in the middle of the night, then and I'm thinking like the only person I know who has any kind of thing like that is Vaclav in his blacksmith and be like,
I totally want you to like pause at Rose's door and then go to my door.
yeah,
right.
yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah,
Can you knock on the door, Loki?
sure. Yeah, I'm gonna go knock on Vaclav's door and be like, Vaclav,
Just a
this
minute. Hang on.
Oh, God.
Don't open the
Does this
door.
wake
tell
Winter
your
up by
bodacious
chance?
babes to
Yeah, how many bodacious
skedaddle.
babes are in there?
All right. Yeah, I come to the door. I'm wearing a bathrobe.
Yeah,
I
I've
think
got.
it says VK on there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
With like an embroidered crown and horns.
It looks like the Playboy bunny
Yeah.
ears.
Nice.
Sorry,
Like
Tammy, what were you
Vaclav.
saying?
I was gonna say it's a satin bathrobe, but then he has bunny slippers.
Oh, yeah.
I go, hey, Loki.
I'm like, I've got my backpack with me. I'm like, this thing started talking to me,
Your backpack?
and well, it had to have been the dagger in it because the backpack had never talked before.
Oh.
And,
Oh.
and
Cool.
like you talk to that blacksmith thing or things talk to you. What the hell is this?
I mean, it's been really working out for me. Ever since I talked to this blacksmith guy, he's been giving me all this power and magic ability. I think you should cultivate this. What does it say?
Well,
Pull it out.
I didn't fully understand it. Um,
Uh-huh.
and it was something about wanting to be fed.
Uh-huh. Well, maybe you should feed it. What does it want to eat?
Well, I think I did feed it yesterday.
Oh, you. It wants to eat you?
Well, God, I hope not. But it I don't know. It's just things aren't supposed to talk like that, you know?
Well, I guess I find with the blacksmith that he doesn't always answer. Uh, he kind of picks and chooses when to talk to me. Um, but it does help if I'm listening, I guess. Maybe try
Interesting.
listening to it.
Well, I was dead asleep when he started talking to me.
Well, right.
Doesn't seem like it's too smart about that stuff.
Well, it just probably means that's when you were like open to it, right?
Yeah, open yourself to the dagger, Loki.
Whoa, what is he doing here? Get out of my room.
Well, given what this thing has done, I don't. The
What's it
blacksmith
done?
helps you out, but this thing's a killer.
Yeah, it's a dagger. That's what we do with it. Look, you want to be good at killing stuff, right?
Well, when the
And
need arises,
Yeah, and
if it needs killing.
the dagger's a tool for that, right?
Good to know.
Anyway, that's how I see it.
It's creepy. I don't know. Something
I mean,
feels off, but but
Well, look how infernal bargains have worked out for me. And I gesture around at the room.
And you look,
Yeah.
you see a fembot.
Right.
Look, like, Vaclav, are you done?
Come back to bed.
I told you not to talk if someone else is in here.
I have the whipped cream.
like, all right, Vaclav, you better go back to. Sorry to have interrupted your night.
No, she doesn't matter. Hey, dummy, get out of here.
Oh,
Should I put an apple back in my mouth?
Yeah.
Uh,
And then get out of here.
I'll. I don't know. I'm gonna keep the thing in here. I don't think it's something. I don't know. Maybe we'll use it.
No. Listen, just go back to bed, but like take it out of the backpack and put it right next to the bed where it can talk to you. See what it says. Can't hurt to listen, right?
Yeah, we're just listening to it. Maybe it'll tell us
Exactly.
something interesting.
Exactly. If you don't like what it says, down the garden road.
Gotcha. All right, man. Better get some rest.
Yeah.
Good night. Quick question to the group. This is referring back to the scrolls. Are we playing scrolls like rules as written, which is if it's on your spell list, then you can actually read it. If it's not, you can't.
I was playing with as more just anyone can use a scroll once.
Perfect.
So I think
Perfect.
that's an interesting usage.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's
Agreed.
how we've
Agreed.
always done
I
things
just
generally.
I was just looking at it and I'm like, I can't remember. Like, it's only if you have a spell book and it's on your list that you can put it in the spell book and always have it. But so cool.
Do you guys want to push up to the bishop meeting or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. Real quick, Loki heads back to his room, wherever that is over here. Vaclav, as you go back to sleeping or whatever's going on in your room, you do have that mirror above your bed. When you kind of glance up there, you do catch the face of the blacksmith kind of looking at you. He looks worried.
I go say that's pretty much what you would have said, right?
That dagger. It's more powerful than you can imagine. Get it.
Yes.
What do you mean get it?
Use it for us. And you would kind of like fade into the mirror.
Looks like I won't be getting any sleep tonight.
Okay.
It's knowing you, Loki.
Heading over to let me just think really quick with let me get a quick little bio break. Just have to think about something quick.
Y'all, who needs? I know Winter, you don't need a rebreather, correct?
Winter does. Winter has one. He kept the one he grabbed.
And then, okay.
I can do without one.
Usually Phoenix and Vaclav can do without.
Yep.
Okay.
I can turn into stuff.
So probably
Especially
Loki,
when
Rosa,
I
and
wear
Winter
the
should keep them.
amulet. I'm gonna
I'll be
steal
right back
the
as well.
amulet. Oh yes. I have not rolled one die today. It's my little cancer thing there. I don't know what the hell's going on there.
That's one there.
Where's, I got to feel those muscles.
Mm.
Oh, so fun. I like this because I've, you know, Phoenix has definitely been getting snarkier, but I've been like, it's like contrary to
You
his
said you
character,
were
but
gonna be
I'm
all
like,
happy with him, and now you're just.
he is happy though. He's just having fun, but but he's a teenager, so he's gonna be a little bit of a little asshole. But he's still not. I think like I'm thinking like the whole Ren thing. Remember how Ren would just like totally try and like shock? It's all about the freaking shock factor, right? So that's kind of what he's at.
Yeah.
Hey man, how's your uncle?
A TBD, man. He went home from the hospital and he's under hospice care, and that's it. The family has asked, like my dad came into town. My dad and Maggie came into town. They went to go visit him. My stepmom went to go visit him, and that was last Friday.
Yeah.
And since then, I've sent a couple texts to my cousin and not really getting much status back. So who knows? I don't fucking know.
Are you
Like,
close to him?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, so my aunt and uncle were actually they were, considering adopting me when I
Oh
was
wow.
young. Yeah, because things were pretty weird with my situation.
Yeah.
So I've always kind of just been like, just one of the other kids, like I mean they had John David and Christy, my cousins, and then, any time that I was there, I was just treated as one of theirs. So
Is he conscious?
yeah, he's conscious. He's just in Tabby and I went to see him, and he was in a massive amount of pain.
Yeah.
His because of the cancer, his feet had gone gangrenous, and that was creating a massive amount of pain. And
Yeah.
then also, but the cancer had metastasized like throughout his organs. So there was that on top of it.
Yeah.
And so we were there almost 2 weeks ago at the hospital we visited. And he was, telling me like, I just want to be able to hang on for a few more days until my kids are around. So now everyone has come to see him, both of my cousins are there. Christy has been there the whole time. She's been with him and my aunt through, they're everyone's getting older, and so she's been like their, kind of caregiver when needed. She and her husband Bennett and my nieces have all been there, but now John David has come back. He lives on the East Coast. His kids, his wife, my dad. Um, so we've seen him. My cousins from Oklahoma have. I'm not sure if Chad has made it out. Chad and his son Wick and Nicole, but they're very close. Chad is like super close. Chad has always been like the cousin to check on the whole family. He's just a really like caring, concerned person. So he's always been checking in with everyone, and they've had a very tight relationship because my anyhow, whole family's close. Everyone's been there. The last couple messages I've sent, I haven't received anything back. So other than, they just are kind of at this point, like just the nuclear family, so the rest of us are, just waiting, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if people like recover out of hospice and there's no recovery for Uncle John, but like how long this might, how long he might
Yeah.
survive. I don't know. It was when we were at the hospital, it was like, this is all imminent and he's likely going to be gone within days. And
That
that
has to happen.
I wasn't really getting any kickback on that from the family there.
Yeah.
And then now, it's 2 weeks later. So I don't know.
Yeah. That's tough, man. Sorry.
It's tough. It is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's I was really sad and I have, little moments of it now, but for the first week it was very emotional. And I was talking to my dad, and I was getting choked up and it's we were talking about it and I was like, I'm happy for Uncle John. He's had an amazing life and he has all these people that are coming, to see him and say goodbye and thank him and everything, like that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sad for me. I'm sad for the family that will be left without his presence, so.
Yeah.
So anyhow.
Yeah, those things they're always tough. And
Yeah.
it's nice when you get a chance to spend time with them.
Yeah.
Even at the end.
Yeah. It's weird, man. The past month has just like overwhelmed me because it was, go out of town, then come back, and then there was all the union stuff here, and then my Uncle John, and then work got crazy. I went from like a 4-man crew to a 13-man crew in the last, 2 weeks.
Oh,
And then on top of all that, on Friday, I was in for colonoscopy and endoscopy, which in and of itself is really not a big deal, except for the freaking 7 days of weird ass diet and then fasting and taking that stuff to shit your brains out and no sleep. So it was like yesterday.
Yep.
That was Friday. I remember little bits and pieces of Friday for like the solid 6 hours afterwards. The whatever they give you to make you comfortable for it. I was reading the shots. Oh yeah, it's Fent, so
Yeah.
I was whacked, man. I was whacked. And like I remember like he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna give you your stuff now. And like, I mean, within 2 seconds, I was all, oh, that's kicking in. And then I don't remember anything after that. I just remember they're like, okay, cool, get comfortable. And I just kind of, and I was gone. And then coming out of it, I don't remember. Oh, yeah. I remember coming out of it when they were removing it. And I was like, oh, that's a little bit uncomfortable. He's like, you're almost finished. So 5 more minutes tops. And I was like, okay, good. Because I could feel that thing up in my guts, man. And I was
God.
just like, ooh.
We're still broadcasting, right?
Of course.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
this is just fitting the campaign.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was that was kind of wild. And then like after that, I don't know. But dude,
Is this
yes,
what we're doing to the guard we have?
yeah, exactly. But no fentanyl. So yesterday I literally slept like half of my normal waking hours yesterday. I could not do shit. I was so wiped out. So, I don't know if it was just like the cumulative effect of everything, but it was a month, man. It was a month. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like today I had this like I woke up, I got super good sleep last night. Even after sleeping all freaking day long, like I slept a solid freaking 7+ hours last night and I woke up and I was like, yes. And I almost like feel like this kind of like weight off of me. I had these really cool dreams that were very topical, when I look at how they all fit this morning. And it was they were all like stressful, but like adventurous, like stressful, like productive stressful, not like freak out stressful. So that was kind of a cool way to wake up, like just feel like a really like a weight off at this point. So I really appreciate you checking in, Ian. I just have not been my usual communicative self. I like cocooned up, man. It was all I could do to just kind of get through. My yard is like, grass freaking this high right now and stuff, which, that's not my thing. I just like push it aside and just get through this right now. So now I feel like I'm like in a good spot to be back.
Oh, that's good. The yard's always going to be there. So
Yard will always be there.
That's for sure.
And then that my intent was like when we finished today, go do the yard work. And then it rained all night. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go out there and crush wet grass. Like it's terrible for the grass and for the mower.
yeah, but if the family's like open to like everyone spending time with them, that's I mean it's up to everyone for what their thing is. But
Yep.
when my grandfather passed, I was so happy that my dad had been out here and spent a couple of weeks with him, and
Yeah.
that I got that time and everything with him, and I think he wanted that too. So
Yeah.
Cool. Tabby, you're back, right?
Tabby's
I'm back.
back.
Oh yeah, I just can't see her on the camera. So.
Is
Yeah.
Ken on?
Yep.
There we go.
Okay. The rest of the rest goes uneventful. Kind of wake up, get ready to go, and I believe the plan was to head over to the bishop and go to the temple of Talos. Right? Is there anything you'd like to do with the range guard or anything else in the morning?
Oh,
We're
take-
bringing him with us.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Mhm.
He's the one that's asking the questions
I forgot about that.
or delivering the information, whatever.
Perfect. So it's just the party plus ranged guard going. Is that correct?
Mhm.
And with Steve the Steed. Steve the Steed sticks around, or does he need to get summoned every day? I can't remember.
Steve.
Steven?
No, does he
He
need to get
sticks
resummoned, or does
around.
he stick around?
He sticks around unless he it's kind of like a what was his name? Starfall, right?
Ken's horse.
Shadowfax.
Shadowfax.
Yeah, from the last one.
I don't
Yeah.
He's
remember.
just-
We would only Shadowfax would just be there when we remembered he was
He's
here, I
just
feel like.
there unless he dies, and then I can summon him back.
I think so.
I think on our way there, I am going to I'm gonna summon Ember. And yeah, so I'm gonna summon Ember. And I'll tell you what he is in a minute, or what they are in a moment here. You gotta
Okay.
remember that shit. Right now I'm remembering two different characters amalgamated as one, and I'm like, he's a pseudo dragon. That's not this character. Summon Wildfire Spirit. Nope, that's not it. Wild Companion.
All right. Well, you guys heading out. As you're kind of leaving, you kind of see the base of operations, the Bastion, kind of like waking up as well. There are guards that seem to be like taken up into some of the rooms that were unused in your little barracks space, and some of them are kind of like waking up. They're seeming a little more used to all of you being here, but there's still definitely like a little bit of trepidation, especially when you talk to each other in Infernal. I think that is like a little bit unnerving for some of the guards. But there are a couple of them that are kind of getting used to all of you. Wakefield and the guard captain, I'll probably need a name for that. I'm gonna take this name here. Guard captain. That's Vilno. And Vilno kind of greets you. Looks like he might be a little uncomfortable, but he's doing his best to kind of push it down.
Hey, Dan.
Yes.
At this point, is Wakefield like on board with what's going on? Like, is he, awake to the fact that the Baron was freaking working with nefarious intent to subterfuge
That seems
against
pretty clear based
the
on what you guys were
citizenry?
saying and providing evidence for. I think everyone here certainly understands that.
Okay.
I don't think there was a lot of love for the Baron generally. It was
Mm.
more like fear and just staying out of his way. It was one of like those style autocrats, is what I'm imagining.
Okay. So I don't know, like as we're passing through this, we've got these guards and stuff. And oh, the other question was the ranged guard. Now that he's spent the night, blah, 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 is he like still like just freaked of us, or is he feeling any kind of like kinship to what we're trying to accomplish?
I think you did notice that there's like the hope in his eyes came back when Winter promised that he would let him go when he helped talk to the. It wasn't really clear. I can't quite remember what
Mhm.
Winter promised him, but ever since that promise, it seems like he's like coming around and he's a lot more amiable to whatever you guys are suggesting. And you didn't really like torture him or anything, aside from like
Right.
slap him and leave him laying down by the fire too long. But I don't think that would have been any more than certainly the Baron would have done normally. So I think he is. I don't think he's like, "Ooh, we're gonna be best buds" or anytime soon. But I don't think he's continuing to be like terrified.
So I'm going to present to the group, like, maybe we should ask some of the guards if they want to go with us, so that like it's looking like we're not these freaks, like we're helping, we're the heroes, huh? Huh? Anyone?
I think that's a good idea.
Sure.
Done. Winter
Yeah.
says it's a good idea. Hey, which one of you guys wants to go with us? All of you. We're streaking. We're streaking.
No,
Let's go.
not what that means.
Who wants to go with us?
Phoenix, can you make a persuasion check with
I
disadvantage?
totally
please?
can. Disadvantage, even with my amazing freaking
Or,
amulet.
like switch from infernal to common and shout out at the guards in the morning. I'm not sure that was really priming the pump.
So true. Oh, it's so good. So good. That is actually amazing. This is persuasion, a 12.
Oh, that's actually impressive. I did not roll particularly well. So there are most of the guards. There's a couple more guards than are actually dots on the board because I think there was more than that. But most of them kind of like back up and be like, oh, I kind of like look away. But there are two. There's a pair of guards that seem like they're interested. I'm going to say guard 1 and guard 5 kind of look. And one of them says, we might be interested to join you. We were
Come
never
on.
big fans of the Baron in the first place, you see.
Team Starlake.
Yeah.
Let me go. Let me just quick pack up and finish the rest of my breakfast.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Eat it on the road. Let's
Yeah.
go, man.
Just grab a piece of toast. Come on.
Grab some jerky. Here, let Loki carve off a piece of that for you.
No.
Come on.
Okay.
No.
Oh, of course. I didn't realize we were in such a hurry. He like kind of grabs his toast, drops it onto the floor, picks it up again, shoves it into his mouth, and then kind of like joins into the group as much as possible.
Yes.
The one with him doesn't say as much and kind of just shakes his head and joins with.
Are they both human?
I think I'm gonna say yes. Yes, they are.
Okay.
Unless you wanted one of them a different race for a different.
Orembog and El
Medic.
Gravotes.
El Grivalds.
L is the one that seems to be talking more. He is. You notice he's a little older and he seems a little frail.
Cool. I'm Phoenix.
We'll go find the
Need some
traitor
help?
guards. Let's go.
Look at us. Just one big, happy, unified, saving force. They're gonna
Use some.
will be known as the Star Lake Saviors.
God. All right. On the map, I made a little temple section. It's kind of like where did I put it? Well, it's like directly above the entrance to the bastion if you're looking for it on your map. But I don't think I revealed it yet, so let me do that. Cool. And I'm going to kind of put us outside the front. It's probably near the water, maybe even on the water's edge, kind of as you've seen it. I'm guessing this isn't like an unknown space, so I'm not like putting anything hidden inside of it. You'd know that it's like a kind of a pretty well-made large temple. There'd be two people inside. Graf Thunderglass is the bishop, and Bemij Thunderweaver is his like second in command. There might be a couple of other like adepts or initiates around, but this is the location of the temple of Talos in the base. And I think it's like really tall. It kind of has like a large crystal kind of in the center, and the very center is actually like open to the sky, and there's kind of often like a just subtle little rain that kind of like falls down from the top of the very high ceiling into like the big pool with the crystal in the center in the middle of it.
Dan, as we were going over there, because we were going as an entourage, I would have been asking questions to the two guards, L and I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Orambog.
Orambog. I want to know what the relationship with the Talos Temple has been since the Krakens have come to town. What have they been doing? What's their role been?
The guards?
No, the Talos Temple, and like what have they
asking
been
the
doing?
guards what the temple has done?
Correct, because I mean, like they were kind of tangentially like helping with the Baron. They have to know kind of, was Talos
they were the ones that were anti-Baron, so they were not assisting the Baron.
right?
That's why Vaclav. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying so they would know more of a different view of Talos and the.
I see.
And the
yeah, go ahead and you can ask them.
Hey, so we're gonna be there soon. What'd they do for the town while this Kraken stuff was happening?
Oh, the Talos, those believers over there in their tower.
Yeah.
They were very helpful. Any of the Krakens that went towards their temple, they zapped with lightning. I didn't know that lightning shot at the top. Did you oar him? He says, mm-mm. And it kind of blasted them all through, zapped in the water. It was impressive. He kind of gets a little bit out of breath as he starts talking, and his pace does slow a little.
Okay. So I'm like, okay, yeah. Did they do anything for the people?
They were fighting the Krakens. That's helping all the people. What do you mean? Do they do something for the people?
Well, I mean, and I kind of like point to the nearest house that has been kind of, I'm sure there's damage that has been done.
Significant.
And I'm just motion over to the nearest building that is fallen apart because of the recent fights. And I'm like stuff like this. Who's taking care of the infrastructure?
The infrastructure? They're taking care of their temple. What do you think this is, lady? One of those ancient republics where they care about what the people want? No, they kept their temple alive, and that's what's important. What do you think Talos would have done if they would have let their temple fall? You want a big ball of lightning blasting everybody back to Kingdom Come?
Just wondering.
Are the doors closed or open?
They would be. There's like a double doors. One is closed. The other one is like a little bit off of its hinges. It looks like it's kind of like leaning against the main entrance. The other one looks like it's fully functional.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up and I guess push on the functional door. See if it's
Yeah. It opens.
okay. Then I'll walk in. is it? Are there ceremonies going on, or is it empty? Or
We're kind of in the morning, right? That's a good question. I'm thinking there is a ceremony going on, and I think that what looks to be somebody is kind of up in the very top. I don't know where I got that little color. And I'm going to say there's a couple of adepts as well. Give me a second to put those in.
I'm gonna resummon Snowfall to make him lightning.
Are there different races or
There would be humans, and one of them is an elf as well. We're going to say Adept 3 is an elf.
Is Graf and Barnage also human?
Graf
Are they?
is a. I want him to be a different species, but I need to. Any suggestions?
Probably. No.
No.
Tabaxi?
Oh, sure. We'll have him be a tobacco.
he's a cat guy,
He's a cat.
Back in her crazy features.
a cat guy who likes storms.
Yeah.
Um,
So, and it looks like they Graf is or Bishop Thunderglass seems to be speaking out over the crystal in the center, kind of like being covered in the rainwater. You know, saying his to let the rain cleanse us and bring us closer to Talos as we all need to in this time. Thank her for helping us against the vile krakens, and we're gonna continue cleansing the space here. And you know, they have their little water things that they pour in and pour out and whatever. Yeah.
I'm going to say to one of the adepts, how long is this going to take?
You get kind of like a very rude look back at you.
Yeah, I
very
bet a bunch
catty
of
look.
devils just walked into its
Mhm.
temple.
Yep. And said, "Can you hurry up your bullshit? We have important things to do."
Yeah.
And I'm like, stop it, Vaclav.
What? I'm just asking questions.
Oh, they're in the middle of a prayer, dude.
Why would you pray to
Okay, well,
anything?
I just asked how long the prayer is going to be.
The more of the adepts are giving you a very dirty looks, and the Bishop Thunderglass he's kind of like facing the other direction from you, and he has not turned his head. As you two are talking, the Bamage kind of like comes out of her
Damage.
and she says,
Dang,
"May I be of
Bamage.
assistance?"
Yeah. We've got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Of course. I believe the bishop and his adepts are busy in the ritual of morning cleansing. They'll be available in an hour or so after.
An hour?
Please
God.
hold.
After.
I hope this place
All our
echoes really
operators
well.
are busy.
Does this place echo really well?
It totally does, yeah. An hour. Yeah. It's like thunderously going. As you do, you almost feel like there's a little electric static shock kind of zaps you, Vaclav, almost as though some greater being channeled like 1/100th of their power to like just flick your ear.
Ooh.
Staticky in here.
And
Yes,
maybe you can help us.
maybe why don't you all come into my office? And she invites you in. Does the whole entourage, as well as Steve the Steed, enter into the office?
No, I'm gonna have Steve, like, I'm sure somewhere there's like a
Little
post.
tie-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ember the cat is with us as well.
Got it.
And Ember the cat looks like the full cat version of whatever cat Thunderglass is.
Is Ember on fire?
No.
No? Okay.
He's a fiendish.
This is his brother that's on fire, I think.
Well, I know Sparks is.
Sparks.
Yeah, Sparks is for sure. Let me get
So
back
the
to
one that's
that.
named Ember is not on fire, but the one that's named Sparks is on fire.
Is. Yeah.
Just clearing that up.
clear. Yeah, appreciate that, Travis. Thank you.
Yeah. No worries. I'm here for you guys.
So I go,
Oh, one moment, and she kind of like motions to the sides, and the ground here, there's like a little bit of water on the ground, and kind of as she motions out, looks like casting some kind of like shaped water, and she kind of like turns the spaces around into some chairs and couches to relax on.
And
Please have a seat.
I
Suspiciously
whisper
water
under,
themed.
right? I whisper under my breath in Infernal to whoever's next to me. Oh, and we're the Diablers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I kind of poke the chair a couple times and then I stay standing and then I say, I say, so we found out that the Baron was working with the squids and they're all they were meeting in cahoots and the magistrate's in on it and we killed the Baron, but this guy worked for him and he can explain it all. But what we want to do is go with the bishop all together, two cahoots, and you know, smash it, I guess.
So you come into the temple and tell me that you've killed the Baron.
Yeah.
We
No,
didn't
he tried
kill
to
him.
kill.
We relieved him of his life force.
Hmm.
He tried to kill Loki, and
You kind of
I
started.
took, killed him for it.
He was carrying this evil dagger. Loki showed him,
And he's been trying to kill everyone
and he
in
turned into
Starlight.
and he turned into a squid.
Yeah.
I
He's a
take
cracker.
the dagger out of the backpack, and it's wrapped in cloth, and I unwrap it and hold it up, and like Rosa, you still got his amulet?
Loki,
Yep.
as you like when you unwrap it and make it visible, there's like a audible like thunderclap coming from the room.
Wow.
I like it.
That's
I
weird.
think it's best you cover that back up.
What?
Go ahead, guy.
Cover it back. Ah,
Tell this
I wrap
lady
it
what.
back up, and then like flip the thing open for a second. See?
there's another thunderclap.
Ba-boom!
As you do it.
Ba-boom! How long until that
she-
ceremony's done? Ba-boom!
Wow, can't take you guys anywhere.
No.
Disrupt
Nope,
all
not
my
at all.
ceremonies. So they're there you picture you like hear a shout, they're ruining the ceremony from like out in the temple, and then you hear another like a deeper voice. It's okay, young one. Patience is key. The storm will pass. And you kind of hear that from outside as Loki.
He's not going to start over, is he?
That's such a good idea. Well, we should. Well, once we're disrupted, we'll have to start the ceremony from the beginning.
Okay, we're sorry.
Okay, maybe we can continue from where we left off. Adept, he says, Barrow, continue reading from the scripture of the greatest storm, section 4, please.
Oh yeah, range guard. Tell him.
What they say is the truth.
Uh-huh.
So convincing.
And that's our presentation.
And
So we
now
go
he
kill the other
dies.
bad guys now. Is that you ready?
I guess we got to wait for Bishop Softpaws to finish his thing there.
And let these guys get away? They're already preparing. One of their own went back to their place.
Yeah, but they're dumb. They're not going to do anything.
Well,
We killed the Baron.
this can Vaclav, you're taking the lead here. Can you make a persuasion check?
Oh yeah.
I think it'll be straight up. I don't think it's advantage or disadvantage based off of your presentation.
That's
here.
pretty generous, actually,
That's
given the
right.
situation.
That's right.
With some
In my
bardic
heart of hearts, I'm
inspiration.
hoping you roll really low. So
Oh, of course. Let's see, 14.
14. Okay. She says, "Well, I appreciate you all bringing this to my attention, but before we make any decisions, we'll have to inform Bishop Thunderglass. I think I'll go tell him that his presence is needed. Please make yourself at home, and we'll see if maybe we can run the short version of the storm of the cleaning. What the heck did I call it? The ritual of morning
Cleansing, morning cleansing.
Well, maybe we'll be able to run the short version of the ritual of the morning cleansing. And she
And
kind
I
of like
see-
How about
runs out.
someone else does that so we can, take care of this problem?
I'll do my best. And she kind of runs out of the room that way.
I'm going
She's not
to.
gonna do
I'm
anything.
going to tell Ember to follow.
The cat.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
inconspicuously,
Okay.
if that's possible. You know.
Not super easy.
Nothing
There's a big,
inconspicuous
giant
about it.
table with the cat.
Cat and
But can you make
I
a
mean,
stealth
cats.
check for your cat? For Ember?
Yeah. Yeah. Cat. Let's go there. Whatever. Just fucking roll. It's a 16 on the die, so it's great. Let's see if I have them over here. I don't have cat yet. I'll add that.
16, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, seems to be pretty effective in being stealthy. Are you doing anything with the cat?
Yeah, he's I'm gonna go into and look and hear what
Sure.
Ember is looking
looks
and
like you
hearing.
can see the Miss Thunderweaver kind of like whispering to the Bishop Thunderglass, and seems like she is kind of like insistently whispering, and Thunderglass seems to be like kind of trying to push her away, but like less and less over time, and you would hear him say, Surger, why don't you skip to the end? Go ahead to chapter 17, verse 12 in Book of the Storms. Read that, please. But what about all the
Man
other ones?
and wife.
And you
Say
gotta-
man and wife.
Man and wife. Yeah, and then it kind of finishes up, and you do hear a little whiny voice. Seems like they're very sad that it ended early. This is one of their favorite times. Go ahead and eat the crackers, and he kind of like comes back in quickly with. You can hear some like footsteps as they re-enter together into Miss Thunderweaver's office. What is this? You've disrupted my ritual 3 times this morning. You've killed the Baron, so I've heard. Do you have any proof of this?
I think Phoenix
Oh,
might
my
be carrying
God.
his head around.
No. No, I didn't cut his head off. I was just pulling the body up, and
Okay, good.
he hasn't gone full Kato yet.
Well, this is his henchman here. Henchman, tell him.
Tell him.
I did work for the Baron, and yes, sir, they did kill him.
I pull out his 3 money bags and I'm like, well, I got these and I got this, and I show him the
There's
amulet.
probably like a signet ring in there, or that you.
The
Yeah,
amulet might
I'm
get his
like-
attention. Amulet might get his attention.
I'm
Yeah.
like, is this enough for you? And I pull out his signet ring.
Yes, that is proof enough. Normally, I would turn you into the city guard and try you for murder, but I notice you have 2 members of the city guard with you, and I honestly won't miss the Baron much. Might be better for the city.
Yeah, we are
Might be. Come on, man.
we are the
What are
same.
you
have
in on
deals
it too?
You're 12.
with Krakens
That's-
to take over the city. So, we got to go stop his
That
henchmen.
seems unlikely that he would have a deal with the Krakens. They're mindless beasts.
Not a
Well,
big one. I saw a big one.
He turned into
So
one.
big one. She turned me into a newt.
Have you not read 2025? Come on. He's one of them.
Sorry, I forgot the question. That was just so funny. I saw one.
Yeah, look, so the guard told us that the Baron was meeting in cahoots with the magistrate and some fish guys, and then
Magistrate Longfellow? He's
uh
crooked as they come. I'm not surprised.
yeah, and so I guess they have some kind of fish cult, and he was working to subvert the city. He's probably intentionally losing fights and stuff. I don't know.
I could believe all of that. What would you have me do?
Well, we want you to come with us to cahoots and
Take care of the
see.
problem.
Yeah, we're gonna crush it, and then you can tell all the people about it. It'd be cool if
You
they
wish
didn't
me
hate
to
us
witness
anymore.
your deeds.
Yeah, witness our deeds. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's a good way to say it.
Oh,
Are you true of heart?
maybe help a little.
I look around at us. Yeah, true enough.
And I'm like, how long is this?
We're all
Wait.
like,
Yeah.
I was like not paying attention, and then I'm like, because I was inspecting the water magic that was going, and I'm like, how long have you been able to affect water like this? I thought this was
not a big
frowned
temple.
upon as diablerie.
She's not a big temple goer.
Yeah, once I was just looking up the Talos deity in D&D, and apparently it's a chaotic evil deity.
Well, you got to keep him placated, you know.
Yeah. I don't think he's chaotic evil. That's not what I was imagining. More of a neutral style, so I might not be totally within there. But I think they're definitely not like.
Did you say Talos? No, we're Talos.
Talos? They're right. That's what I meant
Well,
to say. Of course, Talos.
We're second conclave.
Yeah, the third schism, second conclave.
Yeah, right.
Exactly right. We don't think that he's evil. A lot of it, he's just misunderstood.
Right.
You know, sometimes tsunamis they wipe off the things that don't deserve it.
He's just upset.
Better.
He's just upset.
Yeah. Cool. Just getting a little bit in my head. Cool. Yeah. So you wish me to witness with you? I will certainly join you. Anything digging up through the Baron's choices, I'll assist to try to cleanse the city and bring it back to the beautiful sky after a storm. Sometimes a flood is needed to wash away the impurities. Wouldn't you agree?
So true.
Is that a bath?
No, a great, powerful flood through the streets that rips the buildings from their foundations.
See, when you talk about that, that makes me think that you're a Kraken guy.
No, not Kraken. I've seen them. We fired lightning bolts and destroyed all of them as much as we could from our temple.
I did hear about that. Okay, well, yeah.
So wait a second.
Lead the way, guy, to the Cahoots place.
Yeah.
And tell us again, who's all in this group with Cahoots?
You're asking the range guard, who probably should have a
Yeah,
name
yeah.
by now, because we've been referring to him.
No, we never asked him, and I don't think he went to
That's
us.
fair. I guess he's just range guard.
I didn't call him guy.
Guy. I have a name,
pal.
you know, he says.
Oh, okay.
Yes. What is your true name?
Yeah, everybody does.
It's Elverth.
Ha ha ha! You gave me your true name, you fool.
Your soul is bound now.
What an asshole he is.
Just stop scaring him. He's gonna help us, and we let this dude go.
All right.
Good cop, bad cop. Nice.
As we're walking, I say in Infernal, more water stuff than I expected.
Yeah. Does it scare you with the swimming?
I just look at you weird.
Does it remind you when I beat you in the race?
Yeah, exactly.
That's really funny. So I'm getting my little lunch that Andy brought to me, which I appreciate.
I'll say that in Infernal, Do you guys think the bishop is as soft as he looks?
I mean, his name is
Oh,
Thunder Glass.
But he just looks so soft.
He's
Squeeze
coming
him.
with you, but I'm guessing you're talking in Infernal.
Yes, I am. And I say, do you think like I could come up with an excuse to pet him or touch him?
but what he probably hears is a bunch of talking, thunderglass, but a bunch more talking.
You Thunderglass. Thunderglass.
Nice.
And then he's like,
Exactly.
like, yeah, exactly. As you leave, the bishop does say, you, Havif, stay. The rest of you, join. And the other 3 adepts also
Nice.
join into your growing entourage of ridiculousness. Okay.
Probably talk to the elf and Elven. Are there any dragons associated with Talos or whatever the guy's name is?
Talos.
The god? Talos? Talush.
He's kind of surprised that you speak to him in his original tongue. He says, there are some stories of dragons in the old Talos stories. Talos, of course, bested them all, as you would imagine.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure probably not, but okay. And I would, continue chatting about those dragons.
Yeah, I think he would talk about some of the battles. I think it's probably a similar age, the elf, to Winter, and they might even be like boasting. I think the elf would be like boasting about how Talos beat the dragons and how they're probably not as scary as they are written out to be.
I will say,
yeah, Winter's just gonna be nodding and like, sure, okay.
in Elvish, I will say to Winter, sounds like bullshit. Just
Winter.
putting more Elvish into
How do
the
you say bullshit
conversation
in
there.
Elvish?
It's probably like the waste castings of
Right.
our livestock animals that we use for food, and it's like something like that, right? The elf that is Alsorin, and Alsorin would just say astute use of evidence and storytelling there. You've convinced me. Okay. Kind of moving through the city. I'm guessing with such a large group and the large group of infernals as well, I think you start to collect some passerbys and some people as well, as though like something might be like going on. And you're headed to Cahoots or the Baron's Manor, right?
Yeah, the Baron's Manor.
Okay. Cool.
You can map it later. I think
Oh no,
we're gonna arrive at.
It's just when I zoom sometimes, then like that's when it might be lags. So sorry.
Is it a new map or is it?
No. I find that it's easier just to like move them around. So I'm going to do that quick. I find that it's easier just to copy and paste all the people instead of having to move them every time, which is also funny. Okay, so it's in like the far west of there, and I'm revealing it now. Going.
Oh.
So, give me a second to do that. I originally mapped it because I thought that they would escape with Loki there, so we would need like the second location.
Ended up there anyways.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, nice.
we see like remnants of graffiti from Vaclav writing stuff, and it's like been painted over, so it's like slightly a different color.
Oh yeah.
You suck, but it's like it's painted over.
You can still just barely see it through the nearly matching color of the existing paint.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Can everyone make a perception check as you're walking?
Yes.
And put that in the chat, please.
Oh my
Is
god.
it sight only or just whatever?
Sight mainly is the big one, yeah. I'm assuming you're all like looking out towards it.
I did awesome.
Did you do better than me?
No. Well, I don't know what my plus might be better than yours.
Wow, Loki. When it matters, right?
Always.
Loki the Hunter.
Tell me about it. Doesn't seem to matter if I'm touching dice or the computer's doing it.
I was wrong. It's 22.
That changes everything.
Ah.
Perfect. Sorry, I took a quick bite there. And I know we're also coming up close on the end, so I don't know if we'll be able to infiltrate the Baron's house, but we might just set it up for our continued for next time. As you're getting closer to the Baron's house, ahead is kind of like that black outline is like the size of the house as it's kind of like going up into the air, and the SF. Who's SF? That's
Snowfall.
Snowfall, and Phoenix and Vaclav. Looks like the house is closed up and abandoned. Loki, Rosa, and Winter. As you guys are getting closer, you do notice that there looks like there's a couple of windows. It's probably like a two-story mansion, and a couple of windows up in the top seem like they're open a little bit, and you can see what looks like a crossbow kind of like poking out of the front of at least two of the windows, but they're pretty well hidden up there. I don't know how close you guys would go. The distance that you are isn't necessarily accurate, but the who would be like walking with the ranged guard?
Maybe our two other guards.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Probably. Yeah.
I would be, and I was trying to think of like, like talking to the ranged guard now about, I would be wanting to find out more information just about what was going on with the Baron, and like, you know, in terms of like the, you know, what were they being used for, these guards? And I assume they were like his personal guards. So like, you know, what locations were they going to, and where were they meeting with the you know, with the squids and stuff like that. So just, you know, now that he's,
I don't think he would necessarily know a lot of that information actually, or he'd be kind of like not answering it particularly clearly. But can you make an insight check for me if you're the one that's kind of like mainly interacting with him on the way over?
I can. Oh, that was freaking terrible. You know what? Fuck it, I'll use inspiration. Oh, much better. Insight, that would be a 23.
Yeah, it seems like as you're getting closer to the mansion, it seems like he's almost getting like more and more relaxed, and almost as though like he's anticipating something.
Mm-hmm. Like he's gaining confidence.
Yes.
I'm going to mention that to the group as we're getting closer, and then that's probably when the perception and all that stuff is coming into play.
Yeah, and I'll definitely call out people with crossbows.
We may want to post up.
I'll ask the ranged guard. Elverth. Any secret entrances here?
He'd say the main entrance is what we used.
And that's not what I asked. I asked for a secret entrance.
Maybe the Baron had some, but I don't know. I don't know of any secret entrances.
Insight.
Yeah, I'd like to insight that too. Ooh, natural 20.
Mine's 11.
Both of you get a sense that there is definitely more
25.
that he is letting, more to the story than he is letting on.
This is ranged guard, right?
Yes.
I'll just remind him that currently Vaclav has his soul. So whatever little freaking plan he thinks he's up to, if Vaclav goes, so does your soul.
That's
You may
how
want to
souls go. The souls get free once whoever's ever holding them is killed. Everyone knows that.
You're obviously not a tiefling.
I'll
Yeah,
say,
and I say to him,
I
or
thought-
it could be that your soul will be damned to walk the earth forever, and you'll never cross over.
Hope you like infernal hellfire.
Make a persuasion, Loki. Oh, sorry, deception. That is not true.
Also, Rosa can just make him tell the truth.
Wait, I think I have something that affects that roll. Yes, 9 or less becomes a 10. So it's a 16. I can't get lower than a 16.
Oh, got it. And you are telling him he might be damned.
Yes.
Well, there might be a cellar door entrance, but that's not the way we use to get into the house. That's what you asked me.
I asked if there was a secret entrance, and you lied to me.
To the house,
What?
you meant to ask about the house because you were asking about the cahoots. I was telling you about the cahoots.
All right, you're going in front. Push him to the front.
Yes.
That's good.
So where's the cellar door?
Put him between us and the crossbows, and then say, "Where's that cellar, then?"
Was it barrage of crossbow bolts kills him?
Right. Well, it's right. And Winter's like, damn it. I said, it's around back.
All right. Well, lead the way away from boats if you want to live.
Of course, he's going to Elverth, the ranged guard. You have him in front. I think Graf, the bishop, would probably say, I think this is close enough for now. Me and my adepts will stay back here.
Well, how are you going to witness from back here?
Well, once you're inside, then once you have the space clear, we'll join you. I'm
Okay.
a little wary of those crossbows you mentioned.
Then you might want to come around back with us.
I have the shield here, and I'm gonna hold up the guard. Like,
Wise thinking. I don't know if he'll block all of you though.
well, you could use them if you want to
He'll
get
block
closer.
you. Have your adepts
Yeah.
hold them
How-
in front of you.
How wide is the frontage of this manor?
Pretty wide. The Elverth was kind of mentioning going around the back, but Elverth seems to be walking towards the main entrance, kind of going in this direction. Just this way, he would say, as he's starting to direct everyone up.
Put a leash on that guy.
So, yeah. So, I'm gonna sort of yell our accusations because there's a bunch of people here, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sort of yell our accusations at the manor and say, I don't know how many of you are aware, but the Baron was a bad dude. He was working with the Krakens. He turned into an octopus. He, you know, he was plotting to give this city up to the fish people so he could be number 2 fish. Here we got a witness. We've showed his artifacts to the bishop. Y'all trust the bishop, right?
I've seen the artifacts.
So, anybody who's not aspiring to be a fish, open the doors and come on out.
Winter, are you listening to Vaclav? Or tell me what Winter's up to.
I'll use thaumaturgy to make my voice loud too.
Of course. And can you make a persuasion with advantage?
And bardic inspiration.
Oh,
Nice.
Do you add some like notes in?
Oh yeah, I've got my lute out and I'm playing behind him.
Bardic is 2d4. 1d4?
No, it is it a D6 or 8? Let me double check.
Yeah, I think it's one of those.
It's currently a D8.
Nice.
A d8. Okay. Wow. Well, advantage didn't help at all.
And you rolled a 1.
And my total is, let's see, 10.
10.
So
All right, you're stuttering. And
you may answer with crossbows.
even the people don't seem particularly convinced by the demon using his demonicness to be louder and shouting about other people being evil.
How do we know that's really the bishop?
As for Winter, I'd have him like by his clothing, right? You know, on his back of his neck, basically, and like pushing him forward. I'd probably have a short sword out as well, just in case he tries to run away from me.
Perfect. Yeah. What he's going to do is he's going to like wait for a moment that you're the most distracted listening to Vaclav, and he's going to attempt to break for it.
Nice.
So, then can you do an athletics check with disadvantage though, because he was like waiting for you in order to try to like break free, and I rolled very well.
Oof, 3.
Yeah. So I think you maybe
Oh wait, sorry, 2.
we're focused on Vaclav a little bit of the story that's going on, and he's going to like run away from you and directly
get
like towards the man.
An attack on him since I have my sword out?
I was thinking about that. Is it like a surprise round or not? Surprise rounds are only like if people are hidden, right? This wouldn't really qualify.
Well, I don't know. He used athletics on you. I would say he shoved you, but
yeah, I think he's
fine.
certainly 60 feet away, I think, and like I think the combat counter and stuff would probably start.
But you could certainly firebolt him.
There's certainly a lot of things that you could do.
We can all firebolt him.
Yeah, and he also, as he kind of gets away, he would yell, "They're trying to kill the Baron! They killed the Baron! Get him!" He's kind of yelling out, and then he would actually turn invisible at that point, and that's kind of where we'll stop.
Wow, he did a lot.
Wait, so he did an action, ran twice, and he went invisible?
That's a good point. I'm gonna have him go invisible before the rest. That's keeping me honest. I appreciate it.
Scone. All right.
They're blueberry scones now.
Blueberry. That's how you know you'll like it.
Delicious looking blueberry scones.
Is that where we wrap up?
And that's where we'll stop exactly. Because I think Kevin, you're supposed to leave in 9 minutes. So if a quick little
I gotta go pretty soon.
I don't want you to miss your flight because of us. And I didn't know that we would be doing it with the town going in this route, so I do need a little bit of time to plan and adapt. I thought we were going to be like breaking in quickly on the heels of the Baron trying to rescue Loki was how I had originally planned this one.
Oh, that would have been smart.
That's because I didn't think you would be able to catch him in the water, to be honest. I was very impressed that you guys actually killed him that way.
Just FYI, in 2024, Surprise has been very, very streamlined. So not saying we have to play it this way, but 2024, Surprise. If a creature is caught unawares by the start of combat, that creature is surprised, which causes it to have disadvantage on initiative. That is the end all of surprise. No more like, here's a whole round of these people attacking,
Oh,
and then
really?
we go. It's just disadvantage on initiative to anyone that is surprised.
Wow.
Not saying we have to play it that way, just bringing it up.
I like that. It does get very confusing of who's surprised and who's not. Losing a whole round does really suck.
I think there's
It
like
would be weird in the situation where even with disadvantage you win. You know what I mean? Like we spring the ambush and they shoot us first. You know, like,
yeah, right. That's like, to me, it's, this way is great and simple, but it doesn't like cover all freaking, like you're saying, ambush. That's, dude, how do you ambush? Like fucking arrows start flying at you. You're not like, oh, I pull mine out and shoot first, like you're saying. So like it has there's there's ambiguity into, or at least there's flexibility, to me, in how
Yeah.
you play it. So anyhow.
I wonder. I'd almost want to know someone that's like been in more of a combat situation. I wonder if it's not as cut and dry as I think it is or would be. That sometimes things happen and I don't know though.
I would just say that it would be, your perception check to detect the ambush would stand for that situation where just as you're about to spring the ambush, I shoot you first, right?
Yeah, an ambush to me still feels like a surprise round,
Yeah.
right? And then,
Yeah.
or unless
It
you're
totally
a rogue
does.
and you can't be surprised, then
Right.
sure, you join in with the ambushers and you can do something. That feels right to me, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like a level freaking 16 rogue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I mean, like, I'm thinking
Yeah.
you're going down the jungle trail and the fucking claymores go off and the M16s start blasting from
Yeah.
both sides.
I would be tempted to do one or the other. I would either do, if I'm ambushing you, you get disadvantage on initiative, or I would allow perception checks, and if you succeed the perception check, you're not surprised.
Yeah, I like that. Both of those
That's
options.
that's
That
good.
makes sense. Where in this though, it's like tense. You have crossbows pointed at you from the window. I
Mhm.
don't think there's necessarily anyone surprised that
Oh,
combat
yeah.
is starting,
Yeah.
right? But I think
Right.
in
No.
the ambush situation, I think that's a little different. Like you're not like walking along, and then you dodge the claymore or something. That I don't know. That would be pretty impressive. But yeah, if I could quick
All right.
Rosebud Thorn, especially if I could hear from Kevin too, because I know
Yeah.
you might have signed off before we're totally done.
Yeah, for me, the rose was the first thing was just getting back into it and playing again. We've been out for a while, but I really liked and appreciated the way Ian kind of pulled in the scene around the dagger and stuff. I'm not sure I played it all that great, but I liked the inclusion being drawn into that. I also really liked everything that was going on while I was still in feigned death and couldn't do anything, and all the general craziness that was happening there. Um, as far as Thorn goes, yeah, I don't really think I have anything in particular. Um, I was gonna say maybe the like looking up what do all the things do, but I actually like the fact that we spent time on that and worked through those things. It felt like maybe a little bit of an interlude in the session, but I think overall that's fine. I'd prefer that we do it that way than not. Uh, and so yeah, and then for Bud, it sounds like well, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens because it could be a big combat section, or it could be like the Baron's dead. Who are they beholden to? Like, would you stand up and defend a place, or would you go loot it, knowing that the guy's gone? So, yeah, it'll be interesting to find out what happens there. So that's definitely the but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with this.
Yeah,
As
that's a
far
good
as
point. I didn't even think of that.
as far as play the game,
Most people wouldn't know he's dead yet, though.
Well, that's why he just shouted it out. Remember? So I'm
Mhm.
like, if
Yeah, they're like,
you're guarding
they're
him for him
lying.
to come back, he didn't come back at night. Oh, he'll be back. I don't know. Then it's like, that's a really good point. I'm gonna think about that.
I just assumed that the one that got away told them
Oh, I forgot about
he
that
was
too.
dead.
That's right.
Oh shit, that's right.
Although he
That's
would have
what
told
Winter's
them
talking
some.
about this whole time. Like,
Like
the longer we wait, the more they prepare.
Right.
That's what Winter
If
was
they're
saying.
not in on it though, like what would he have told them? Like,
And he might be like, oh, I saw the Baron get captured. I don't know if he would, it was underwater. I don't know if you would have seen him getting killed exactly, right?
True.
Well, that's true too. Yeah.
Yeah, but he definitely would have seen like the Baron transform and then be forced back, and like, how the
Yeah.
tide turned and everything.
Well, I think he was already running at that point. And if you're like
Right.
underwater escaping, it's not like you're like looking back to go see how the combat turned out. So
Yeah.
no, I think that this might be the first they're hearing of it. So I don't know.
That's
No,
true.
that's a really good question.
Yeah. And
Sorry, and you were saying play
if the amulets, if Rose, I don't know how Rose is wearing the amulet, but that's something that, they would see and know too if she had that. But yeah, no, I was gonna say,
dagger.
I would give play a game to. I really like the way that Tabby Rosa played a little bit of the counter to all of the crazy macho stuff in the beginning. that felt like a lot of fun, especially when I'm lying there listening to it, going, I would probably be participating in the stupid macho side of things as Loki and right there alongside of Vaclav. But anyway, yeah, that was fun. Thanks, guys.
What was she doing? You were doing something about the bodacious babes, I thought, but I can't remember now.
Yeah, I was like, oh, nice, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
And I was like, what would Lydia think? And it just made him more mad.
Yeah, that's right. Just like calling out the awkward because it's so cringy. Yeah.
Yep.
No, that was funny. Cool. Thanks, Kevin. And if you need to sign off, go ahead. Otherwise, I'll stay on as long as you
All right, yeah, I'll probably leave it on so I can hear while I'm finishing up. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Kev.
Yeah. I can go. Rose, just all the role playing. The whole throne room scene was ridiculous, and I loved that we are all genuinely like, "Why do you think we're gonna kill this guy?" Like,
I love that.
that was fantastic. And then just like playing Winter, there's all these useful items that he's like, "This is super useful, right? This is super useful." And he's like, "I don't care about any of this crap." So he's just tossing them to random people. Like, I don't care about being a Kraken. I'm a dragon. Like all that stuff's useful, but Winter's like, I don't need it. But yeah, seeing like, I guess probably trying to get the town on our side. I think that's hilarious. When we're doing a lot of bad things sometimes. But I think that would be funny. And then getting what was in this basement would be, I'm interested in that. Thorn, yeah, just at times I think we were slow, particularly like Winter always asks about dragons. So in the future, if you just wanted to say like, yeah, you guys talk about dragons and stuff, I'd be fine with that too. I don't necessarily need to role play it every time if you want to make it faster. I do have fun doing that, but I imagine everyone else is like, dragons again. So
No, it's awesome.
And then play the game. I was gonna give it to, or I would say Loki and Vaclav, because like flawed characters doing flawed things, right? Loki asks the absolute worst person about this, cursed item, right? It's first thing he thinks of, I'm gonna go ask Vaclav. Like that's probably the worst person to ask about this. Like, and then Vaclav gave a very Vaclav answer. Like, I get useful stuff out of cursed thing, like you should do that too. Like,
you
I
should
think
totally
anyone
make a
else would be
bargain
like,
with the
yeah, that's
devil.
probably a bad idea. Or even Winter would have been like, I don't need a dagger, whatever. Like, this sword is bigger. Like, so I just thought that was funny.
I love
And
that
I had a
too.
great time. Thanks everybody. And Dan.
I love that too, Ken, because it was even like when Dan was like, okay, so who has the dagger? And it was like crickets, crickets. And we're like, Loki has the dagger. And Kevin was like, yeah,
You're
I
all
guess
like, oh.
Very true.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh,
Um,
it's cursed. I'm like, they were like, does identify curses? Because in my mind, it's not like cursed or not, because items have like trade-offs, right? You could see this
Yeah.
certainly an item probably it would err on the curse side of things, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I think that makes it more interesting. I'm not like going to be like, oh,
Yeah.
Loki gets it and that's Established as friends. I don't think that's very fun, but I think
Yeah.
this it's very powerful. Is he drawn to it? What's he gonna do? I think it's an interesting way for him to like explore his character. That I think he's trying to be good and trying to help the party, but like, boy, if I could get some couple stats, like I don't know, that might be kind of nice. And if they're ever gonna kill him anyway, you might as well feed the sword, right? So I'm like, I think that's really interesting to see, like if Loki pursues that or not, or
Mhm.
if Vaclav has to steal it because the blacksmith wants him to do it, and then it's
Yeah.
like, how did you get this Vaclav?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what. I like, so I think it's more
Yeah.
interesting than like, oh,
Yeah.
you have disadvantage on all your checks now because you put it on before that without identifying it or whatever.
And having
Hey,
been on the receiving end of it, it's a mix of, this thing's really crappy, but it's really crappy for the person who gets hit by it. So
Hey, real quickly, before Kevin has to go, but next Sunday is Mother's Day.
Hmm,
Are we
Mhm.
postponing until the following? I feel like it's
probably.
probably not a bad idea. Tabby and I have not made any plans yet, but I might like to leave that open.
I have nothing. Joseel and my mom are going to Ventura and I'm basically being left alone. So
Ken?
Maybe. I would be a mate. I'll have to see and I'll let you guys know.
Okay, so a tentative for next weekend. Maybe I'll chime back and Ken will chime back as to whether we come up with something disruptive. Otherwise, no matter what, the 18th, though, everyone good for the 18th?
Sure.
yeah, I think so.
Okay, all right. That's out of the way.
Perfect.
Travis is
All
like,
right.
happy Mother's Day, Tabby. You're gonna play D&D.
Right.
I'm gonna make you breakfast that you can eat while we're playing
That's your
D&D.
favorite thing, right?
Right.
Hello. What you want is to make me happy, so therefore that's your present. So win.
So for me, I think
The
my
perfect circle. Hey, I gotta go, guys. Thanks.
Perfect.
okay,
Bye.
Yeah.
Have a good trip.
I think my rose was sort of being the butt of the joke a bunch of times.
You definitely enjoy that, I think.
Yeah, I liked like getting overwhelmed by the bodacious babes and having to like hack one of them off of me, and and I don't know, just I think I was sort of like made a fool of several times, and I definitely enjoyed that with Vaclav. That's what he's for. And my bud, I think my biggest bud from this one, of course, I'm interested in like what's going on under the manor and everything, but I'm really looking forward to seeing where Loki goes with this dagger. And I think Loki as a character, he thinks he's the smartest guy in the family,
Mm-hmm.
um, which is not unique to him, but but I don't know. I'm excited for it. I think it could be cool. And I definitely don't really want to take the dagger from him unless he's not doing anything with it. You know what I mean? Like if it's just a dead end to the story, then maybe I'll try and fail or something. But anyway, I don't want to take that from Kevin.
Ooh, I'm gonna break my rule, and I wonder now maybe if the blacksmith won't be take it, maybe it'll be like encourage him to use it. I feel like might be
Okay.
even better, right? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring him
Um,
in.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I like that
Advantage.
bringing better, and I agree. I don't like that stealing from within the party too. So that's a good point. Yeah.
Advantage on persuasion.
and Born, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there are any thorns really. Um, and then play the game. Um, I guess I agree. I know Kevin just left, but I really like that he came to Vaclav for advice rather than going to, you know, Rosa, for example, and you know, sort of further that direction for the story. So yeah.
I wanted to say, Ian, I appreciate it when you're like, let's move to this story along and let's jump to the bishop. Because I think when I'm in the DM mode, sometimes I'm like, oh, I have to zoom in on everything. And I don't think that is good. And I really appreciate when you're like, yeah, let's just skip to that. And I'm like, you're right. We should, because any of the little things we could have done, we can do in those scenes instead of like trying to have little conversations that aren't that
There's
just
a
end up
there's a
taking a bunch of time. So I
there's a
appreciate
point
you.
where a scene loses energy, right?
Yes.
And so like when I feel that, I try to like roll along to the next one.
Yeah, and then when we were in the temple and you were like shouting over the like that was a perfect space to go be an asshole somewhere else instead of like continuing to do it in the same spot. So, um, yeah, I don't think we would have gotten as far, and I appreciate those moments when you're like, "Hey, let's next scene." Yeah.
My rose was I I thought that even though it was slow and it was us just kind of like playing it, that was really fun in the beginning. Um,
The throne room.
watching, yeah, the throne room, watching Vaclav, like he's like, I sit down and I'm like, oh my God, he's going full asshole right now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Kim Jong Un. Yeah.
Awesome. You know, but it's like, of course he would. And he's got an audience which just like ramps it up, you know? And so he's like, yeah, I'm imagining like it for me, I saw 1 foot over this, like one arm of the throne and another foot down, you know, like
Yeah.
doing the full man spread thing. And
Yes.
bro, and like batting women away. Like it's just, it's so blah.
Scarface.
Yeah.
Right?
These like fake women that he like
Yeah,
conjured.
just-
Is he
just-
made
just-
it even worse?
Like brainless
Yeah,
idiot
right, right.
constructs, right?
And right? The incredulity on his face when the women are like climbing on him, it's so contrived. You're like, oh, stop. And then, like, you know, he's like, oh, audience, okay, turn it on even more. I thought that was hilarious. And then also watching Travis play into it with Phoenix, and he's like, I'm kicking the dead corpse. I'm using it as a puppet. And I'm like, oh my God.
I
And
totally want him to like dye his hair and like, you know,
Right?
just
and I feel like
get some
it was
piercings.
Shave it off.
he
That's
already
so good.
he's got piercings.
I did.
He did just got his
Yeah, my earrings.
Oh yeah.
My earrings of charisma.
Charisma. Your Riz.
That's right. I remember you
all
pushed
work
them
so
right
perfect.
through,
I
right?
forgot about that.
Yeah.
So he's just, you know, like I feel like it's apt because it's a bunch of dudes. They just overcame this huge thing where we were pretty sure we were gonna die, and now there's an audience, and the just ridiculous, ostentatious, disgusting throne room to begin with.
We've entered the brosphere.
Oh
Yeah, it's the
We're a
bro
freaking
cave.
podcast now.
Like, as much as I wanted to shy away, I feel like being part of the revelry, like Rosa's trying to be Rosa, but then she's like kind of like
This is pretty
she's
cool.
into it. We just got off that like the high of battle, and so she's playing into that tieflingness because all of these people have been anti-tiefling for so long.
Mhm.
And she's just like, all right, I'll mess with them a little bit. So she wasn't trying hard to stop anything. She liked watching them all sweat, and then to come back and kind of notice the little things of like, oh, okay, so I guess our one follower, he pretended like he's the one in charge. Let's make him sweat even more, you know? So it was just a lot of fun. My bud is definitely like, where are we going with this now? Like, it's just it's so us to be now going into the Baron's house. My biggest butt of all of that is specifically finding out the portal that was used, that was mentioned. Because if there's really a portal in the basement, where does that portal go, and how does that tie into everything? And I'm just waiting for freaking Devil in the Blue Dress to come along again. Because we're back in this town now. And then my thorn would be having to cut it short because I feel like we've been out for so long, and we just, as is us, it takes us about an hour or so to get into it, and now we're like, okay, now we stop, but I don't think that can be helped. So it's what it is. I had a lot of fun. And my computer camera thing being obnoxious, that kind of sucks. I will say, I think DM wise, we keep getting all this loot, and a lot of it is like we've had multiple +1 longswords, +1 longbows, some studded letters, which all makes sense. My wondering, it's not a criticism, because I think it's something that, like, I don't think it can be helped, but it's like, what do we do with all of that? Like, we have it all. Do we start now giving it to NPCs? Like, we've got, do we arm Etch with armor now? Like, how? I guess it's like
Phoenix did bring 2 more into the fold, just like the last campaign.
So, like,
now we may have some NPCs along for the ride. Who knows?
And I guess I bring it up because I'm like, okay, because I was looking at it. We also have other stuff from the past where we've got a couple of things. Like, we actually have like a full arsenal in the Bastion that we collected the last time we did this. So I'm wondering, like, what do we do?
Phoenix starts his own sub army. Like, oh my god, I am playing Kato again. I can't help but play that character. But
like, don't stop giving us stuff, but like, I also like,
give us more stuff.
I do like the idea of more random stuff, just like sprinkled in. Like, remember when we got stuff from the mine? Like, we have the canary that lights up, and just throwing us off.
We need a list.
And
so
we have that wish list.
we do have the wish list. Travis wants an inventory list, but that's not Dan's job. That's our job.
No, I know.
And then my play of the game is definitely also Vaclav, like the playing the douchebag. Like, I'm almost picturing there's a video game, was it Far Cry? With the guy. Yeah, like, it's just, your typical, like, douchebaggery,
misogynist,
like,
dream world.
But then but he's not. He just plays himself that way, which I think is great. So nice. Oh, a highlight too is because I was writing stuff down and my head was all on the dagger, and you're like, do you put it on? And I was like, no, I'm not going to put that on. And then I was like, wait, no, amulet. This is the amulet. Yeah, I'm going to put that on. Because my biggest fear is freaking Winter or Vaclav or Phoenix.
I already said I was going to steal it when she was sleeping.
Is like, oh, I need that. And I don't,
I do.
Like, well, I guess it's my responsibility.
It's funny that Rosa has water powers and can make tidal waves, and what was it? Oh, and Phoenix is puppeting people's heads.
And what? I'm doing what?
Puppeting people's heads.
Oh, yeah.
That is funny.
Um, I wanted to say too when you were talking that like the family must have always been like this, right? Like we must have always been, macho, kind of
Yeah.
funny, like, kind of guys, right?
I
And
feel
I
like,
think that's probably part of our culture. And
Uh-huh.
then
yep,
the only thing that's different now is that usually Rosa has more female tieflings around. You know what I mean? More women around.
yep,
Right.
Uh, and now she's stuck on her own with just the dudes.
But
right?
I feel like you're saying because and this not I'm not trying to use this in derogatory, but I don't know better. We're let's just say we're migratory people,
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say
Yeah.
we're Jersey.
We're
We're
Jersey. We're Jersey.
We're
And it's like
Jersey.
when the women are around, they also are also like
Oh, we're terrible.
sexist in their own freaking manner, though,
Yeah.
like it's not so right now it's not a different like way of interacting. It's just that she doesn't have all her backup, like just like you're saying, but it's that's true. Like this is a very cultural kind of
Group.
group and this is who we are.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I
But
didn't
then
even
it's
think of it
also
like
like, I also know that if somebody were to disrespect any female tiefling, everybody would be like, hey,
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
hey!
oh.
Hey, what are you
Wow.
doing?
We just crossed the line there, folks.
I was
We're all
thinking that like
we don't want to say what we're all saying without saying, but hey,
I was thinking
like meatballs.
That is not, no, I
Well, it's
was
got some
thinking
got some
Jersey.
Jersey to it too,
no,
but
there's definitely like a different mindset. I was thinking
yeah,
of when you were saying that like when Rosa doesn't have all of her like women to back her up. And I was remembering when she did. Remember when I was playing Lydia, and
yeah,
then that's when Vaclav like totally shut down and couldn't even handle
Yep.
Yes.
his own medicine
Yep.
because like that his he can do it when he's winning and he's got all his boys, but as soon as like
Uh-huh.
the other women are there to put him in his place, he's like, well, fine, I'm gonna go outside and pout, and like it's
Yeah.
that is also so
Totally.
true. I feel like
Totally. That's awesome. That's really cool. All right, I'll go. Rose is that we're like, I mean, briefly at least, winning the hearts and minds of people, you know, versus the Baron, right? Like we're like, look, here's the freaking truth, you guys. Like, we're not the bad guys. Come on. My bud is, in this situation currently, we're in front of this freaking manor and there's crossbows pointed at us and like do we end up, persuading this group of people or different groups of people within the manor that like we're actually the good guys here, or do we end up just going full postal and blasting our way in and doing whatever we do? My thorn is only that this was a short session when I feel like after being gone for so long, we actually all really played well together, and synergistically to accomplish things. So there wasn't like a lot of hum ha. But I also feel like we kind of, at least for me, I owe that to not going directly into combat because I need time to like fucking remember what I do, and so if we had been full on entrenched in combat, I would have been doing the 10-minute turns every time. So this gave me a chance to kind of come back in. I know it's only been a month, but that's long enough for me to freaking totally forget everything. So but that thorn is really rosy because I thought that it was a great session and we did, even though we didn't get into combat and we're not in the manor yet, like I feel like we accomplished a freaking lot. Might not have been the direct path, but like to now have the temple, semi allied with us and we've got guards, now freaking that's going to start spreading around, so it's the groundwork is laid for the tiefling liberation movement to start. So that's cool. Play the game. Totally Vaclav in the throne room. Like that was just so fun. And that's why I like to play. So that was just amazing role playing and all of us in there. But it set up the opportunity for all of us to role play too. So I like it. Just like all of a sudden I just looked at the map too and saw, oh shit, the Baron's body is literally right in front of me. And I'm like, I have to go Kato on this. And you should listen. That was perfect opportunity. So thank you, Dan.
Of course. Yeah, I had lots of fun. It was almost like good that it was a short session for me because I think I was like I wasn't sure where to go next because I didn't have it quite planned out of what building it. So I wish we could have played longer, but I didn't know that we were going to be, getting the temple that we kind of invented in the moment with us to go to the manor and do
Great.
that. So I was like, oh wow, this is way different. I had like a couple other possibilities and was like, no, we didn't do any of those things, of course. So it was a good little stopping point for me. I really enjoyed the throne room too, and I think what I've been doing is like just kind of trying to play up to the stuff that you're doing and instead of trying to be like a adversary all the time, like, oh, you're trying to get the bodacious babes, well then maybe it won't work. But I made you roll, and I think you and your face, I think you might have been like, oh, Dan's not going to let me do it. But then I was like, no, I'm going to like play it up more in a way that maybe you don't intend, and then make you play off of tripping into them. And I think that was even funnier because now you had to like recover from your faux bullshit machismo thing that was even funnier and like killed one of the people. And another one was like, I don't love the whole like sexuality stuff in the D&D, so I love that it was these fake bodacious babes and that I could make them Barbie dolls so we could like not have to be like deal with actual issues like that I don't think D&D is the greatest space to actually deal with those. I think they are important issues and should be talked about. I'm just not sure with 4 or 5 dudes and Tabby online playing games. Might not be the space to have those conversations is all I would say. So I think, and I really like too that like I mean I hope, and like I don't think Ian is playing these as though this is what one should do or how one should treat women. And I love that it's like so playing into it, it's like ironic and like look how stupid this is. But then we can also be like, this is kind of fun, but I'm glad we're not really doing it. We're like joking about it, but it's also so stupid and silly that it's like fun, but also terrible. Like that you have your fembots and like just how like sad that is, but it's also like so what Vaclav, who's like never had anything and now he can have anything he wants. Like of course he would have fireplaces and fake women and like that's but then he'll of course have to like come out of that, and I'm curious where like you get sick of that, right? Maybe, or maybe he'll love it forever, who knows. So I'm just curious. I love that journey and like his self-discovery, red pilling himself and then like pushing himself through it. So I just think that's like so funny. um yeah, what else was I gonna say? I liked. I said already, Ian. I appreciate you when you were pushing me to like move the scenes along. That was very helpful. Oh, I want to say, Tabby, I definitely miss your being able to see you because I think that's important to me. So if there's any way like to try another camera, I might have an extra camera that I can send you if that like would help at all.
I think we have one. I just need to go find it.
Okay, because I wonder if that would. I wonder if it's like the actual camera that's not working, or I mean, it seems like it's
I
having
need to
something.
I need to talk to IT and find out.
Oh, got it. So that would that would be. I would like that. Um, and then let's see. I wanted to say something else. Oh, back to like that loot thing. When I'm doing like loot, I usually try to be like, what would be there like matching the story and the game and like what these characters have. Um, maybe I think it might just be like from playing Baldur's Gate 3 a bit recently. You always find all this extra crap and then you have to go sell it or whatever. But maybe it doesn't make as much sense. So the other way I was thinking of like brainstorming ways to deal with it. Like maybe you could like transmute magic items into other things using like etch or using the spire things, or maybe you could like come up with your own things, or maybe You know, I was interested in this originally because I thought you'd be gathering posses long ago, but like finally maybe now you're because like you know you're becoming powerful members in these different cities. Maybe you're going to
Mhm.
be
Yeah.
outfitting people, but like, are you going to record which NPC has a +1 longsword? I don't know. It probably doesn't really matter that much. So, um, I don't know. Or should I like change my mindset and don't be like, what do the characters really have on them? But like, what is interesting for the narrative and like a loot episode, and those are the things that you find to like for your characters. So I'm like, what would be a good direction? What do you guys think? I guess.
I kind
Yeah.
of like the idea of the transmute into something of equivalent value, or or lesser value. I don't know.
That can make us very optimized though.
I do like the other idea,
Hell
another idea of kind of taking from our last campaign, maybe one way that we recharge magic in the spires is by feeding it loot, you know, like especially like those lesser magic items, things like that, kind of like we did on.
Oh yeah, because the stupid
Yeah.
tower's always running out of power, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just have to start using the dagger, killing people, and putting the blood and bodies into
That
the
makes sense to
fire.
me.
I like it. Tabby, good idea.
Yeah, that's not, yeah. But yeah, I like that idea.
I was thinking with
Uh,
the transmute, I don't think it would be like I'm gonna put these 2+1 and then choose the exact thing from the list. I was thinking it'd be more like I'm sacrificing these two and I'm like looking for like speaking what you wish, and
right,
then I would be like, I'll roll a dice, see how good it is,
So
and then so it might not be exactly what you're thinking, but that would I don't know as another idea.
in fourth edition, they allowed you to do essentially this. So
Really?
you could perform a ritual that would destroy a magic item, and it would produce something called residuum.
Mhm.
And the residuum was like a magic powder, basically, that could be used as a material component for any spell. It had a gold piece value that could be equivalent, right? And it could also be used to replace the gold piece investment of magic items you're creating. So
Hmm.
essentially, you know, like if a +1 sword costs 1,200 gold, you know, you could destroy a +1 sword, get 600 gold worth of residuum out of it, and then use that in your efforts to make a +2 sword or whatever, right? But it was all more sort of codified at that time.
Cool.
But you could take some inspiration from that, maybe. Although I also like the idea of a big furnace in the bottom of the tower that we can just, you know, steal the enchantments from stuff and power the tower. Um,
Yeah, I like both of those ideas.
yeah.
It could also, yeah, so we can add in whichever thing. I mean, it makes sense to me that the spires would have something like that. They seem to be very adept at like dealing with magic, but I don't think you'd be able to like selectively choose nest like from a catalog of magic items. You know, I picture Vaclav being like, "Ooh, this particular sword. Oh, I just need these things." I don't think
Well,
it's like that necessarily.
you could make it like a certain amount of residuum is required or you know useful in making an item, but you still need the specific sort of quest component to make it, right? So you still need, you know, the eye of a phoenix or whatever the fuck to like make this thing.
Phoenix, they're gonna take your eye.
It's all right. I have to.
You can heal it
What?
back.
Oh, his eye.
His phoenix's eye.
The eye of the phoenix. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I have the child.
The child's eye.
Yeah, I like that. I like being able to use them somehow. Or if you store them all in the like furnace room, you could be like, etch, you know, pull in a couple of items of what we need. Like, oh, I'm sorry, that'll cost you three +1 items and a scroll.
Yeah,
And
right.
you're like, do it. Like, I don't know that. I think that would
Yeah,
be kind
yeah.
of, man, that was expensive.
Dude, that
also, I
is
think, of
such a cool idea.
Or we could reduce them to residuum, keep the residuum in the furnace room, and then it would just be like points, abstract points. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean?
Yes. And I like because there's like the list of like minor, medium, major
Uh-huh.
items or whatever, and then maybe those are like between. It's like half of a minor can turn into something, and
Or yeah, make it geometric or something, right? So like one, you know, to two, I don't know, you have to double it to each level, right? So like,
Right.
Yeah, and then I wonder too, because it is like a lower magic world because there's a lot of magic. You know, the wizards and stuff aren't there. But I wonder if there's more of these like minor magical items because those kind of are easier to make. But there's much less of the higher level ones. So I wonder if the spire is like one of the few ways to actually get those, and then it turns into like people bring their items and you have like a service. I don't know. That sounds like it could be and then you're like the magic item lords.
Yeah, we are.
Like yes, we'll see what we can do with all these +1 long swords.
Yeah.
We're very busy
Right.
though.
Fuck the quest. We're now magic makers.
bring us a bunch of cloaks of resistance, and we'll see what we can
Exactly.
do.
At least one crate full of +1. What's your amulet thing that you have, Travis? Bring a protection +1s. Yeah, we'll crush those down, and maybe we'll get +2.
And then eventually we'll figure out we can feed fairies into the fire, and
Yeah, or maybe other devils. You can go catch them or something.
Yes. Oh, it's getting good now.
Do we still
So-
have the fairy wing part?
I believe so.
No,
No,
I
we
thought
embedded
we
it in the
gave it
thing
to
that we gave to
someone.
the dwarves.
yeah.
I thought you kept
We
something.
we didn't give them
Oh,
all
but
of
we
it.
faked it, and remember we kept
Yeah.
a chunk.
I
Okay.
thought.
We do have a chunk.
We have a chunk of fairy wing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
And
We
then
have
you keep
most
it-
of one.
Because we
Made
left
it
them,
look
we
like
left them like that morsel of it, and we kept the big part and left the morsel,
Because
and then
we
made it
wanted them
look
to
like
look
it
like
got it
yeah,
got stolen. You know.
You can send her in here if you want. You can send her in here.
Something I wanted to bring up, which was touched upon today and really stirred me, as far as Phoenix's like alignment, which I think alignment is becoming less and less important, but just I use it as like a general guide of how this character that I'm playing acts. But like, do you think that that's appropriate that he would be going through this? I'm trying to use real life shit to kind of, build this persona, but like he's entering, teenagerhood, adolescence, and he's going through this hormonal stuff, and he's now because I find it so hard to not play a snarky character. Like I start playing D&D, and no matter what I like start as, like here's the D&D stuff, and the whole character says, I'm gonna be this nice kid, and fucking 10 minutes into it, I'm like, fuck you, or whatever, Is it okay with you guys that he is becoming like and this, when you brought up the cultural thing, Ian, that plays in so intensely as to what he's going through, because he's like hitting this hormonal manhood thing, and all of his freaking his mentors and his
Role models.
his oh my god,
He's
Role
turning
models.
role
He's
models
turning into
are all
Groot.
this, and like Uncle Loki is like for the family. So he's like, oh, well, if we're doing for the family, you can fuck people up.
You're
And then I've got Vaclav is like, bodacious babe, get off of me. Fucking cut him in half. I don't want him, Winter is like, no, fuck or fight. That's all that there is. And so and now here's this nice kid, and all of a sudden things are kicking in, and he's like, oh, I need to be like that. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I am a lot like my dad.
He's turning
Fucking
into
crazy
teenage-
like my dad.
He's teenage Groot.
Right? Yes. That kind of. Is that like bad to be playing that? Should I roll it back and try and be more nice? Because I'll play it however. I can go back to like being much more nice. Maybe he's just having a hard moment or whatever. But is it more fun that he's like the nice, naive kid, or is it fun that he's
I think you
like,
should play what's fun for you.
I think for me, I have lots of feelings on the character stuff. I don't think you should play the character as like a way that you want. I think playing your character through like a journey and like having them do these challenges and then watching how they react to it and like come out the other side, to me that's like the much more interesting and fun part of
Right.
D&D. And what I think of, like, having taught middle school for so long, is that
Yeah.
they have their like moody moments and they're like assholes sometimes, but I don't think their like alignment changes when they're having like a bad day. I think
Right.
they're still like they have to like try all the things. So maybe Phoenix has like a really
Hmm.
bad day kicking the dead guy. Like that's like not a good thing, I would say.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it is
Right.
something that I could see like a regular kid in a tiefling fantasy setting doing that and then being like, I don't think that was right the next day. I feel really bad.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be better. And then something
that's
happens and then
good.
they're like mad again. And it's like
Yeah.
Vaclav's is the right way, and then they fail them again. And it's like finding they have to be like, wow, all the
Yeah.
role models I thought are actually wrong and I have to find my own way. But I feel
Uh-huh.
like Phoenix is still he's like in this, okay, I have to be exactly like my role models and they're right. And but like
Right.
playing you're almost like replaying middle school through Phoenix again. So I don't think he's like suddenly like if something really traumatic happened to Vaclav, I think his alignment could change. Where like
Hmm.
Lydia was captured and murdered and he had to like kill her or some terrible thing like that. I think
Right.
Vaclav would like fundamentally be a different person after going through that. But I think Phoenix is I don't know, you're still like going through this and I think I also agree with what like Ian was saying is that like pick what you want to play and like explore it. Don't be like I'm gonna be snarky. I'm not gonna be snarky. Be like
Right.
okay, Phoenix is a 12-year-old infernal boy growing up in this culture, seeing these things. Is he gonna? Sometimes people grow up in those cultures and they're like goody two shoes. They're like I'm gonna be a perfect Christian and not do anything wrong. And then
Uh,
sometimes they go the totally other way, or maybe so I don't know. It's more like what would Phoenix do? He's got his
uh,
brother to support. What does Sparks think about all this? Like,
that's good too.
how is he gonna like respond to this in this like traumatic, terrible way? And to me,
Uh-huh.
that's way more interesting.
Yeah, that's the this like today the stuff with the Baron I thought was perfectly in line with Phoenix, like kicking him,
Oh yeah,
like
he was kicked.
that's what
That was
literally
very poetic. Yes.
that's what threw freaking Phoenix into like, oh my God, I can do this now. So like, yeah, fuck you, man. And then puppeting his head, like you're nothing. I got you. I'm powerful now. So that's cool to be able to put that into that perspective. But yeah, this is awesome input, you guys. Thank you very much.
I would
That's a
also say I wonder. It's almost like the Boyd King a little bit. Like
little
Phoenix
bit.
almost can get whatever he wants. He's got like his parent figures, Vaclav and
Uh-huh.
Rosa are running spires. They can snap their fingers and
Yeah,
get whatever he wants, basically. So
right.
like, isn't he going to turn into like a little rich silver spoon, whiny little kid? Like, is that what he's
Uh-huh.
going to be? I don't know if I'd want to play that to be honest, but like,
I do
what could
not want to
you,
play that.
what could
You don't want to be
how
Hunter
could you
Biden?
guide him or find
No.
him in a way that like, I don't
Yeah.
know. That's what's interesting.
It's great too. I'm glad that you brought up the whole like there's okay, so today he was like, I'm on top of this, screw this guy, I'm paying him back. But then tomorrow there may be remorse. And Kato did some of this too. It's like I said, it's pretty much I always play the same fucking character. But that like I like that to have I'm going to keep that in mind that he will be like pondering his actions because that's what that whole I'm pointing over at this room over here with one of them in
Oh,
there
I
right
bet.
now.
Yeah.
Like it's moment to moment, moment to freaking moment. So that does actually that plays well to how I can play because I do when I built Phoenix, it was like this is cool. I like him as this like, kind of naive and very loving and very glass is half full kind of perspective. And as we've played, and leveled up, he's been a
He's
little
not
more
naive anymore, right?
he's not naive, exactly. But that may be something that he like, you know, I know I do it still at 54 years old. Some days I wake up and I go, oh shit, that's what I've been going through. That's that it makes sense now. Now how positive or negative, and like, oh cool. Well, how do I harness that? So yeah, cool. Thanks, you guys.
I was also thinking too, like a lot of times those kids in middle school, their parents, maybe Vaclav or whatever, tell them stuff, And it's like, no,
Uh-huh.
you guys are stupid. I don't know. But I wonder then if he'd be like, ask Winter. Maybe he'd ask the guards. Maybe he's like looking like, am I doing that
Uh-huh.
right? Was I right in doing that? But like,
Right.
what Rosa and Fiakov say no longer matter, right? Because the
I
parents,
was
they don't
Yes.
I was thinking like along
Yeah.
those lines that curiosity would be a really natural drive for Phoenix. That maybe instead of like abusing the guard, he would like sneak over to the cell where we put him and start asking him questions
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, right. And that's where I was headed at, at when we were walking there, and I was like, because that's what he is. He's, first he asked the guards, hey, you want to go with us? And then when we were going to the Barrens, he's like trying to connect uh with Elverth, like, hey, you see now, like, so that's cool. Yeah.
Or even like the bishop, he might be asking, another traditional, be like, Bishop, what do you think about all this? Is this what?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's stupid. You're stupid. All of your stuff is wrong. But what is
Yeah.
your opinion anyway? Like I feel like
Uh-huh.
that's what a middle
Yeah,
schooler
right.
would say. It's like-
Yeah.
And he's also the one that would go up to him and be like, "Can I touch your fur?
Right.
Well, I mean,
Are you soft? Do you like water?
yes, you like
You live in
water.
a house of water, but you're a cat. How does that work?"
Yeah. Or like a
Nice.
little bowl of milk. Like here you go.
Uh-huh.
to change the subject a little bit, Dan, I was thinking about what you were saying about the blacksmith changing to encouraging me to encourage Loki, right?
Mm,
But it's just as good if he doesn't and still wants me to steal the thing because it creates a point of friction between me and the blacksmith,
that's true.
where you're basically like betray your family, and I'm like, whoa, that's the line I don't cross. You know what I mean? Like,
Ooh, I like that actually.
yeah.
Yeah, the blacksmith is kind of fun, building him up a little bit as he like kind of pops in and out. It's weird
Yeah.
with like the warlock. I don't think I've ever really run a campaign with a warlock before, and I feel like because that, what do you call it? Your deity, your patron,
Patron?
right? It's like a very real thing, and it's not like a lot of clerics are like, oh yeah, I believe in Palo or whatever. I don't talk to Palo. It's like it's fine. I just get healing word and that's whatever. But like I feel like for a warlock, it's a much more like personal connection. It should be because your patron is like a lot more important to like exactly what you do. So
Did you ever read the Elric books, the Elric
mm,
saga?
maybe I've read a lot of books.
So I'm pretty sure the warlock patron relationship comes straight out of Elric.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and his relationship with the Chaos Lord that is his patron. They're also a very fun fantasy read. They're light and fast, so I would definitely recommend like the first book in the series.
Yeah, I feel like I've read Michael Moorcock before.
Hmm.
But now I'm curious. This doesn't sound super familiar, but yeah, it's definitely something I could pick it up.
It's
It's
also
recent, too.
I love that he's a junkie.
well, it might have been re-released recent. It's not recent.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's not. It's old.
1972. Okay.
Yeah, 70s or 60s.
Yeah.
But it's like foundational to like all kinds of fantasy. Like especially Warhammer. Like Warhammer is basically Moorcock, like just
Really?
straight from the tap. Oh yeah.
Huh.
There was a list of top 100 sci-fi and fantasy books by NPR, and like a decade ago, I read through all of them,
Oh,
and so it was really cool. But I'm like, if it was on that list, I've read it, so I'm like, I'm gonna go back to it, because I pirated the whole thing, and I was just like read it on my phone, going through all of them, and it's fascinating to read a lot of those classics and to be like, oh. Especially when you watch like a new sci-fi movie, oh look at this new idea, and I'm like, I think
yeah.
I've read about that at least 3 other times. Like, and then when you go back and read the originals, like, so certainly a lot of like the Asimov stuff.
Yeah, Ari Howard or
The one the cyber one they invented.
Oh yeah, Neuromancer.
was
Yeah.
really crazy. Of all the stuff,
Mhm.
they're like, wow.
And Snow Crash.
I took me like the first time I read it, I didn't like it, and I was like, eh.
Oh, yeah?
And then I came back to it, and then I loved it, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I just had to like push. It was just it's really weird, and
It
you
is
have to
weird.
like roll with the weird and accept
Yes.
it. And then I was
Yes.
like, okay, this is really good. So it's number 90 on there. Maybe I just didn't get down to the very end, but I don't recall this, so I can reread it again.
Like I said, it's a light, fast read. So.
My favorite's L. Ron Hubbard, especially his Scientology series. It's
Oh yeah, it
amazing.
changed my life. Changed my life.
Changed my life. What was the not how did was is Dianetics Scientology that's one and the same,
Yes.
right?
Cool. I
Yes,
think
Dianetics
just real
is
quick,
the
I'm gonna sign off our